Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone, wherever you're at in the world. Welcome to Last Raps Baseball's live commentary of the Nippon Professional Baseball League. Tonight, we are going to be bringing you the Hokkaido Nippon-Ham Fighters and the Orix Buffaloes from the Kyocera Dome in Osaka. This is the second game of the three-game set, as last night's game was won by the Buffaloes 5-1. It was Suryu Kodajima who got the win. He is 2-0 last night, as Ryusuke Kawano, the starter for the Fighters, took the loss. He dropped to 1-3. So round two of this matchup goes here tonight, as we will bring this one to you. We'll give you, first of all, the starting lineup for the visitors from Hokkaido. Leading off and playing in left field is number 53, Shin Mizutani. Hitting second in center field is number 7, Go Matsumoto. Hitting third at third base is number 30, Yuya Gunji. In the cleanup spot and playing first base is number 21, Kotaro Kiyomiya. Hitting fifth and doing the designated hitting is number 99, Franmil Reyes. Batting sixth at second base is number 4, Daigo Kamikawa-Kabata. Hitting seventh in right field is number 66, Chusei Manami. Batting eighth and doing the catching is number 64, Yua Tamiya. Batting ninth, the shortstop, number 43, Tetsuki Mizuno. And they're going to be facing Hiroya Miyagi, who has had himself a bit of a rough year this year for the Buffaloes. He is 3-8. He's worked 81 innings. He's given up 72 hits, 26 runs, 25 of which have been earned. He's walked 12 and struck out 83. He's posted an earned run average of 2.78. Well, that's your starting lineup for the Fighters. Now your starting lineup for the home team from Osaka, the Orix Buffaloes. Leading off and playing second base is number 64, Kosei Osato. Hitting second at third base is number 5, Masahiro Nishino. Hitting third in right field is number 38, Ryoto Okita. The cleanup spot and doing the catching is number 4, Tomoya Mori. Batting fifth and doing the designated hitting is number 40, Leandro Cedeno. Batting sixth in left field is number 7, Ryoma Nishikawa. Hitting seventh at shortstop is number 24, Kotaro Kobayashi. Hitting eighth in center is wearing number 67 is Kai Nakagawa. Batting ninth at first base is number 30, Taishi Haruka. They're going to be facing the American right-hander, Drew Verhagen, who makes a return appearance to the NPB after spending the last couple of seasons in the St. Louis Cardinals organization. Verhagen making his fifth start of the year. He's got a 1-0 record. He's worked 19 innings. He's allowed 16 hits, 10 runs, 8 of which have been earned. He's walked 6 and struck out 10, and he's got himself an earned run average of 3.79. Well, those are your starting lineups for both of these ball clubs. We'll be back in just a couple of moments with all the action. We appreciate our friend Ian being in here and our friend Titus as well. So stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few with all the action. First pitch is about 2 minutes away. Hiroya Miyagi is taking to the hill, and we are going to be ready to get this one going here in just a couple moments. It is Buffaloes and Fighters from the Kyocera Dome in Osaka when we return right after this. Welcome back, everybody. It is the Buffaloes and the Fighters, and Miyagi is just completing his warm-up tosses as we'll be ready to get this one going in just a moment. He'll be facing Shin Mizutani, Go Matsumoto, and Yuya Gunji, the top of the order for the Fighters here to get things going in Game 2 of this series from the Kyocera Dome. We were going to try to give a call last night, but just couldn't be able to stay awake to do the late night affair. Our friend Jeremy Orr in the house tonight. We welcome you. Jeremy, it seems like every time that you take off and leave, that's when everybody seems to join the stream, or at least that's when we really buckle up. That was what we had last week. So hopefully you can stick around this week to enjoy all the action at the end of the game if it is that way. Well, here's the first pitch of the ball game from Miyagi, and it's a fastball that misses up and away, and the count is 1-0. Mizutani batting .314 on the year. He's got 4 homers and 29 runs driven in. Bats from the right side against the left-handed throwing Miyagi, who kicks and delivers. Breaking ball swung on. This ball is going to get lined into center field for a base hit. Mizutani is aboard with a leadoff single. That is going to bring up the second base or the center fielder, Go Matsumoto. Well, for Matsumoto on the season, he's hitting .255. He's got a homer and 16 runs driven in. He is not quite at the form he was at a couple of years ago, but he has enjoyed a steady last couple of weeks as he is slowly inching his batting average up. He is a threat on the base paths as well. Pretty much the only one in the lineup for the Fighters who you can consider a threat. There are a couple others that do run, like Tamiya and Mizuno. As Miyagi throws over to first base, and diving back easily is the runner Mizutani. Mizutani enjoying himself a very fine rookie campaign as he had broken in this year after a number of years in the farm system. He was the MVP of interleague play. Here's the pitch. Fastball swung on, grounded over to second, fielded by the second baseman Osato. He goes to second for one, back to first. It's going to be a double play. They did have Mizutani in motion, but the ball was hit right to the second baseman. And Matsumoto, a tough player to double up, is doubled up in that spot. He has gone 4-6-3 for the back end and second out, and that's going to leave it up to the third baseman, Yuya Gunji. Well, for Gunji, he's hitting .271 on the year, 11 homers and 45 runs driven in. Getting the start at third base tonight. As the lefty Miyagi looks in and gets his sign from his catcher, Tomoya Mori. Here comes the pitch. Breaking ball that's taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Defensively for the Buffaloes tonight, from left to right field, it is Nishikawa in left. The center fielder is Nakagawa. In right field, it's Kita. Around the horn from first to third, you've got Haruka at first, Sato at second. As that fastball is taken for a called strike, it's now 0-2 on Gunji. The shortstop is Kobayashi. The third baseman, Nishino, with the battery, as we mentioned, of Miyagi and Mori. So no balls and 2 strikes to Gunji as the lefty Miyagi works to the set. And now here comes the pitch. Fastball misses down and away, and the count now goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Only 6 pitches thrown here by Miyagi so far in the first inning. Hasn't really had to break a sweat yet. Buffaloes have a very interesting uniform, all black with gold. Gold numbering, gold lettering. There's a fastball swung on. It's grounded softly to short. Kobayashi has to hurry. He throws to first, and that is going to retire Gunji on a ground out 6-3. He's gone for the third out of the inning. And that is going to do it here for the Fighters in their half of the first. They had no runs in the inning. There was a hit. There was no errors, and there was nobody left aboard. Through a half inning, it is the Fighters no score and the Buffaloes coming to bat. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few. Appreciate you guys for ducking in with us tonight on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. We'll be right back after these. Nothing as we move to the bottom of the first. We'll be back in just a few. Appreciate you guys for jumping in here with us tonight on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. Welcome back, everybody. A game that we're going to be keeping our eye on tonight is the game between the Hawks and the Marines. It is Carter Stewart Jr. going for the Hawks in that one against Dallas Keuchel, who's making his NPB debut tonight for Chiba. Depending on how this game goes, if that game were still going on at the end, we would jump over and give the call of that one for some bonus coverage at the end of the game, but we'll see how that game shapes up. Leading off, it'll be Kosi Osato who steps to the plate, the second baseman hitting .236 with a couple homers and 7 RBIs. And the first pitch from Drew Verhagen is a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Osato batting from the left side against the American right-hander as Verhagen gets his sign from Tamiya and he rocks into the motion. Fastball that just misses up and away, and the count goes even at 1-1. Verhagen began his professional career with the Detroit Tigers organization. And then he jumped over to Japan, where he had spent time with the Fighters. Ended up getting a job back in North America with the Cardinals, but here he finds himself back in with the Fighters again for another tour. There's a breaking ball that misses down and in, and the count goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike to Osato. Verhagen played his college ball at Vanderbilt University. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lined into left field, moving toward the foul line, and making the catch is Mizutani, and that is going to retire Osato for the first out of the inning. He's gone for out number 1, and that'll bring up the third baseman, Masahiro Nishino. Our friend Ethan in the house tonight, he says, "Let's go Fighters." And the Buffaloes are currently batting. Here it is in the bottom of the first. Our friend Jeremy said almost didn't come in tonight. Well, glad you're here, Jeremy. We appreciate you for hanging in. As the first pitch is on the way, it's a fastball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1. Last night, I posted up early in the day that we thought we were going to maybe try to call that late night game. But we just couldn't keep the eyelids awake. There's a breaking ball that's taken for a called strike, and the count now goes to 0-2. Ethan says he put big money on the Fighters. I don't know what big money is anymore, especially with all this inflation going on. So here comes the 0-2 pitch as the right-hander Verhagen kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball, misses down and away, and the count goes to 1-2. I have to tell you, if it was early in the season and I saw this matchup, I probably would have not taken the Fighters, but it is a chance. They look like they have a stronger lineup that they're rolling out here against the Buffaloes tonight. Fastball swung on. It is lifted into shallow left field. The left fielder, Mizutani, is a busy man tonight as he's going to make the second out here. As that is caught, he's gone for out number 2 is Nishino, and that is going to bring up the right fielder, Ryota Kita. Well, for Kita on the season, he's hitting .240. He's got a homer and 8 RBIs. I was saying the Buffaloes, certainly with Miyagi, who is pitching here tonight, I would have probably leaned more toward Miyagi at the beginning of the year, simply because I would have felt that he would have been stepping up into the ace role of the Buffaloes. And here's the pitch. It's a fastball that misses down and in, and the count is 1-0 to Kita. So 1 ball and no strikes. Right-hander against the left-hander. Verhagen delivers. It's a breaking ball that catches the inside corner, and the count runs even to 1-1. As we mentioned, we're keeping an eye on that game because Buffaloes, or the Marines and the Hawks, with Keuchel starting tonight. I'm kind of curious to see how that's going to go. You know, he's got nothing really left to prove, as there is a changeup swung on and missed, and the count now goes to 1-2 on Kita. But I kind of like that in some ways with players where they just like to play. And, you know, you think of somebody like Dallas Keuchel. He's won a Cy Young. He had 5 all-star appearances. He won 5 Gold Gloves. He had some all-star appearances, a World Series champion. As that ball is grounded softly foul over on the first base side, the count remains at 1-2 to Kita. And yet here he still wants to play in his upper 30s. I think he's 36 or 37 years old. And he gets a chance to go play in Japan and showed a little bit this year with the Milwaukee Brewers and Colorado Rockies. He's got a little bit left in the tank. Maybe pitching once a week in Japan, as they do use a 6-man rotation, might be to his possibly to his liking. So 1-2 to Kita here as he waits on the pitch from Verhagen. That is a fastball swung on and missed. And that is going to retire Kita, and the Buffaloes are going to go in order here in the first inning. 1, 2, 3. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We are now through one complete inning. It is the Buffaloes nothing, the Fighters nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the call of the second inning when we return after this. Appreciate you guys for hanging around with us here tonight. We'll be right back after these. Appreciate it there, Zeus, for the sub, and glad you like the updates. We'll be right back in just a moment as we have all the action for you right after this. Hang tight on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. Welcome back, everybody. It's going to be the heart of the order for the Fighters. It'll be Kiyomiya, Reyes, and Kamikawa Kabata to face the lefty Miyagi. Rocks into the delivery, and he delivers a fastball that swung on. It's popped into shallow left center field. Moving back on it is Kirby-Ashi, and he's going to make the catch. And with one pitch, we have what away here in the second inning. And that is going to bring up the designated hitter, Franmil Reyes. Well, for Reyes on the season, he's hitting .252. He's got 12 homers and 35 runs batted in. I was thinking about the Franimal before the game started and felt that I think the production numbers that he's given the Fighters this year, one would have to think he should be able to garner another contract, if not with Hokkaido, with somebody else for next year. There is a slow breaking ball that is taken for a ball down and away, and the count is 1-0. Here comes the offering. It's another slow breaking ball. This one taken at the knees for a called strike. The count's even. Our friend Jeremy asked the question. He says, what's considered a number of pitches for a pitcher? 90? I assume a starting pitcher. Well, certainly in Major League Baseball, you get that. But we've seen in the Japanese league that some nights the starters can go upwards of 130 pitches. It's your old school baseball. As there is a changeup that is waved out and missed. The count now goes to 1-2 on Reyes. They certainly do not shy away from letting the pitchers go deep into ball games and to be able to close the games out for themselves, unlike in North America, where it seems like the 85 pitch mark is the high alarm. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count now goes to 2-2 on Reyes. And I have to admit, I kind of like that. I like the fact that they let the pitchers go in. You're investing how many millions of dollars in your arms, and then you turn it over to somebody in the bullpen who's making a fraction of what the starter makes. As that breaking ball misses outside, and the count now goes to 3-2 on Reyes. Reyes has seen nothing but soft stuff here in this at-bat, as he is dangerous. He can put a charge into the heaters. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. He has Miyagi Orix set. Now the pitch is on the way. It is a fastball swung on, and it is grounded through the 6 hole into left field. And the Franimal has himself a base hit. That's the first knock for either team here in this one, as he is aboard with a single. That's going to bring up the second baseman, Daigo Kamikawa-Kabata. That was another thing I was thinking about in the lineup here tonight. They've got Reyes hitting fifth, who is a power hitter and probably could use some protection in the lineup. And then they bring Kamikawa-Kabata up, who's a light-hitting second baseman, followed by Chusei Manami, who can put a charge into the baseball. He is, the last couple of years, always in the mix for being one of the top home run hitters in the NPB, or at least in the Pacific League. So this brings Kamikawa-Kabata to the plate, who's hitting .250. He's got a homer and 8 RBIs. Not a lot of power to this fella as he takes a fastball up and in for a ball, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. We haven't made the announcement yet, but we'll probably stay with this series tomorrow night. So if you happen to be around and want to jump in again with us, it'll be an earlier start. It'll be 9 Pacific or midnight Eastern. If you're in North America, as the fastball misses outside, the count now goes to 2-0 on Kamikawa-Kabata. But that is our plan for tomorrow. Ethan says he only bet 25, but he won 50 from the Angels game that just ended. He pitches a breaking ball that misses outside, and the count now goes to 3-0. Friend Jeremy asked a question. He goes, do they have as many arm issues? And that's the interesting topic. So they don't have as many. And I know Yu Darvish has come out publicly and said he thinks it's the baseball that they're using in North America that's causing the arm issues. There's a fastball taken for a called strike. Count is now 3-1. Now, what I mean by that is you've got a situation where you've got, I don't know, I guess the best way you would put it is the Tommy Johns. If you look at the Tommy John surgeries that are going on in the United States compared to what you see in Japan, it certainly is magnified in North America as that fastball swung on and tap foul over on the first base side. Count is 3-2. They still have those type of surgeries in Japan, but not as much. I also think, too, that they talked about how the balls are tacked a little bit differently than they are in North America, as well as they're a little smaller. They're about a half ounce lighter. If I remember correctly, North American baseballs are 5 to 5.5 ounces, where 4.5 to 5 ounces, as there's a ball that's chopped over to third. They go to second for 1, back to first, and it's going to be a double play. We might want to see if they're going to review this one or not. We'll see if the big boss is going to go take a look. And yeah, he's out of his seat looking for the replay. It's definitely going to get the lead out at second, as Reyes will be erased for the second out, but Kamikawa-Kabata is going to have to be reviewed here. We have missed 2 of them so far this year. I think we're like 14 for 16 on the replays. So let's see. We'll take a look and let you know what our thoughts are. Our friend Ian B says they get extra days rest with the 6-man rotation. That is also correct. So pitching once a week for starters a little bit differently than what you see in North America, where you're getting the ball every 5th day, unlike years ago where it used to be every 4th day. We're getting a look at the replay right now. And as we look at the replay, that's going to be a fielder's choice. It'll be a 5-4 fielder's choice. Kamikawa-Kabata will be safe at first. We haven't seen the call from the umpires yet, but I can guarantee you this. When they come out, they're going to be showing that he is safe at first. It wasn't even close. And it'll bring Chusei Manami to the plate in just a moment. Yeah, he beat that. That ball wasn't even close to being in the glove of the first baseman, Haruka. And the umpire is on his way back out, and there is the safe sign. So they got the call right upon the correction. So that brings Chusei Manami to the plate. As Manami hitting .247 with 16 homers and 50 RBIs. Our friend Amiri asked the question. He says, what's a more competitive league, the NPB or the Mexican League, the LMB? And I have to be honest with you, Amiri, I don't really follow the Mexican League that much. I would say it's not my thoughts to make a comment either way, whether it's competitive or not, would be beyond my scope. As they throw over to first base and getting back in time is Kamikawa Kabata. I would say this, that the NPB is certainly a better league than the Korean league, the KBO. There's such a discrepancy in teams from the top to the bottom. Although I'm throwing stones from glass houses because the Saitama Sea Blue Lions are pretty atrocious this year. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away. Count is quickly 0-1 to Minami. But certainly as a whole, I think that the Japanese baseball, it's fundamentally sound, much better caliber of play overall in which to watch. A lot of the players in the Mexican League, and there's some pretty good players in the Mexican League, don't get me wrong. Obviously, Trevor Bauer and an old Robinson Cano, as that fastball misses outside, the count's 1-1. But I certainly think that when you look at it over time, I think the Japanese League would have the edge, at least in my eyes. So 1-1 strike to Minami as he hits here from the right side against the left-handed throwing Miyagi, who works himself to the set. And now he kicks and delivers. There's a fastball taken on the outside corner for called strike, and the count now goes to 1-2. So 1-2 strikes. Minami sure didn't like the call on that last one there as he stepped back and takes a deep breath as the 1-2 ready to come here from the crafty lefty Miyagi. And here's the pitch. It is a fastball. It misses down and away. The count's 2-2. I would say that I wouldn't bat an eye to see Miyagi come to Major League Baseball in 5 or 6 years. He's still relatively young. And the reason I say that is I would make him a comparison to Shota Imanaga, who's with the Cubs. I got a chance to see Imanaga pitch in Yokohama last year, which was a treat. I could see Miyagi following that pathway down the trail. He's pretty good as the breaking ball misses down and the count's now full to Chusei Minami. Well, it looks like it's not been a warm welcoming for Dallas Keuchel, or at least not necessarily the most welcoming, as the Hawks have already jumped out to a 2-0 lead in the bottom of the first inning. Welcome to Japan, Dallas, as the Hawks are putting some nice swings on the ball, that is for sure. There was a breaking ball that swung on and missed, held on to by the catcher Mori, and Minami's in the books. He's gone for the third out of the inning, and that will do it here for the Fighters in their half of the second. No runs in the inning. There was a hit, no errors, and 1 runner was left aboard. We're through 1.5. Your score is the Fighters 0 and the Buffaloes 0. We'll be back with the bottom of the second inning after this. Appreciate you guys for hanging in here with us. Our friend Ian D says 3 doubles off of Keuchel already. I didn't catch the third, but you might be right on that. We'll be back in a minute. We'll talk more baseball, Fighters and Buffaloes after this. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the bottom half of the second inning, and coming to bat will be the heart of the order for the Buffaloes, Tomoya Mori, Leandro Cedeno, and Ryoma Nishikawa. Just a couple programming notes. As we mentioned, we'll be back on the airwaves again tomorrow, as we'll call these same 2 teams. It'll be an hour earlier start. Next Friday, we will do another game, and we will post that up during the week, but we will be off the air on Saturday and dormant for a bit. But follow along with us, as we are a little bit more prepared than we were last year, as a week from Tuesday, we'll be at the game between the Giants and the Swallows at the Jingu Stadium in Tokyo. So look for some of our short videos and look for some of our, well, maybe some long form stuff, but we may go live and try to do some stuff while we're at or going to the games. So hopefully you guys can come in and check it out. The first pitch delivered to Tomoya Mori is a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Mori is hitting .282 on the season, 7 homers and 38 RBIs. He has started to pick up his pace a little bit as there's a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count now goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes it is. Only 13 pitches in the first inning for Verhagen to dispose of the Buffaloes, as he has shown that he is very efficient so far in his work. There is a fastball that misses down, and the count now goes to 1-2 on Mori. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Friend Ian said there were already 3 doubles off of him. I know Imamiya had a double, and I certainly know that Yamakawa had a double. I just don't know if it was Yanagamachi had one as well, as that fastball swung on and missed. They're going to have to throw down to first. No, they're just going to call Mori out as he's left the dirt circle. He's going to be gone for the first out of the inning. Mori gone. That's going to bring up Leandro Cedeno. We didn't give you the defense for the Fighters in the last half inning, as that inning went pretty quick. Left field to right field. It is Mizutani in left, Matsumoto in center, and the right fielder's Manami. Around the horn from first to third, it's Kiyomiya at first, Kamikawa Kamada at second, Mizuno at short, and the third baseman Gunji, with Verhagen and Tamiya the battery. So Leandro Cedeno steps in. He's enjoying himself another decent campaign as he takes a breaking ball up and in for ball 1. Cedeno hitting .234, 9 homers, 26 runs batted in. He was a revelation in the latter part of last year for the Buffaloes, as he takes a fastball for a called strike. The count now is 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Our friend Jeremy asked, who's favored to win the Japan series this year? As the pitch is a fastball that swung on and tapped foul in front of home plate, and the count now goes to 1-2. Well, truthfully, Jeremy, if I don't know what the odds makers had before the season, but I think most people would probably agree that the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks right now would probably be the favorites. They're running away with the Pacific, and they're just playing some pretty dominant baseball. But once you get into the playoffs, a lot of things can change. Certainly, that's where injuries and in short series, anything can happen. There's a fastball swung, and this ball is driven to the left center field, and it's going to get down for a base hit. They were playing him very deep. Mizutani fields it. Big turn at first base for Cedeno, but they're going to hold him to a long single. It was almost like they were playing in a no doubles defense here with 1 out. Mizutani had to go into that gap to get it, and he was able to prevent Cedeno from heading over to second. He was just in front of the warning track. That's how deep he was when he fielded it on the 1 hop. So I would say the Hawks definitely interesting that the Carper leading the way in the Central. I really like their pitching staff. I don't know if I really like their offense with Hiroshima, but good for them. Their pitching staff, their starting pitching can win you a lot of ball games with the fellas over there. When I think of Denchio Serra, longtime ace or considered an ace, as there was a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and it counts 0-1. He's leading the way, and then you've got off the top of my head, I'm just trying to rattle off the different names, and it's escaping me at the moment. There's a fastball that misses down and in. The count's now 1-1. Certainly the Cart pitching is obviously pretty steady. Aaron Curry's another one. He had a really good year last year, but Curry, I thought I saw him pitch 3 times last year live. He looked really good, but this year he's kind of struggled out of the gates. It's a 2-1 count now here to the hitter Nishikawa. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Buffalo fans are making their noise. It's not a sellout in Osaka. which the Buffaloes are considered to be one of the least followed teams in all of Japan. There's a fastball taken for a called strike. The count now goes to 2-2 on Nishikawa. And the all more important part that the Carp are doing it is they lost this player who was their starting left fielder last year, Nishikawa, and an important bat in their lineup. They haven't skipped a beat. I would have thought that their offense would have slowed down a little bit more. As they throw to first base and getting back easily is Cedeno. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Our friend Ian says he was trying to watch both games. He said the Marines had tied it up just that quick. Very interesting. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Nishikawa as he swings through that pitch, and that's going to retire him for the second out of the inning. That's the 3rd strikeout recorded here tonight for Verhagen so far. So 2 in the books. That's going to bring up the shortstop, Kotaro Kobayashi. I haven't really looked at Verhagen's pitch mix. And that's something else that I like to get. I picked up last year. It's all in Japanese, so it takes me forever to go through it. But I picked up a couple of their magazines. Data Source, I think, is the producer, and it gives a lot of stuff, especially on the pitchers, what their pitch mix is, what their frequency of throwing the pitches are. So if you're a stat crazy person, as there was a fastball taken for a called strike, it's much like a lot of the stuff that you can get here in North America, where it just gives you all kinds of information. Friend Spaceman is in the house. That would be our friend Troll. Welcome, welcome. So no balls and 1 strike. Here's the pitch. It's a fastball that misses down, and the count's now even to 1-1 on Kobayashi. Kobayashi hitting .260 on the season, a couple of homers and 31 RBIs. But he has been playing a steady shortstop for the Buffaloes. Spaceman says the number 1 Orix fan in the house. And it might be the only Orix fan, depending upon who you listen to, as that's the split finger pitch that swung on and missed. The count goes to 1-2. Even in Osaka, most people are Hanshin Tiger crazy. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Verhagen leans in. He gets the sign from the catcher, Tamiya. There's more Fighter fans out there than there are Buffalo fans, that's for certain. Again, they throw over to first base, and again, getting back in time is the base runner, Leandro Cedeno. There was a fellow who used to be a reporter who was listening to our games last year. Andy Altman-Orr used to work for the San Jose Press? I'll tell the story when I come back. There's a breaking ball swung on and missed, and Verhagen strikes out the side. He's got 4 punch-outs here in the books as Kobayashi goes down swinging for out number 3, and that is 2 complete now in the books. No runs in the inning, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 runner left aboard. Through 2 complete, your score is the Fighters nothing and the Buffaloes nothing. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be right back in just a few with all the action. We appreciate everybody for being here with us tonight on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. We'll see you here in just a few. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the 8, 9, and 1 hitters to come to bat, as it'll be Tamiya, Mizuno, and Mizutani to face the lefty Miyagi, who is on for inning number 3. Our friend Jeremy Orr says that He's been watching the Gaijin Baseball YouTube for Japanese baseball history videos. That's pretty cool. I'm going to do a piece, and there's, I think, 214 or 218. I can't remember. You have to excuse me on the exact number of players in the Japanese Baseball Hall of Fame. Fastball swung on, grounded over to short, and it is fielded by Kobayashi. He throws to first, and with one pitch, we have one away here in the third inning. It's a ground out 6-3 for out number one, and that's going to bring up the shortstop, Tetsuki Mizuno. I was starting to say that what my plan is I'm going to try when I go to the Hall of Fame, I've got information. I'm going to try to do a video on every single player in the Japanese Baseball Hall of Fame. And some of it will be from the videos that I'll have taken previously. I might do some as shorts. I might do some as long form videos to sort of give some information about the players and how they were immortalized in Japanese baseball lore, as the first pitch is a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. And, I hope I can do it justice in some ways because, obviously you don't get a chance to see all the players all the time. And just like in our history here in North America, as that fastball misses upstairs and the count is now even at 1-1. But just give our listeners and our viewers a little bit of taste of some of the past. And the past is pretty cool in Japan, just as it is here in North America, as that fastball is taken at the knees for a called strike. Count is 1-2 to Mizuno. So we'll try to slowly ratchet those ones out as we can. As I say, I'd like to try to be able to do something. I can't, because of copyright laws, I get yourself in trouble. As that fastball is swung on and it's fouled down the left field line, and the count is going to remain at 1-2 to Mizuno. But certainly an opportunity for people to come in and to watch and to listen and to see some of the stuff that we'll be doing. As I say, hopefully I can get some good stuff. I wanted to get another camera and another video today, as that pitch is a breaking ball, misses down and away. They appealed to the third base umpire, but they said Mizuno didn't go. It runs the count now to 2-2. Got a couple of thoughts on what I may like to do for the handheld portion. Our friend M. Johnson in the house tonight. We welcome you. Thanks for popping in. Here's the 2-2 pitch. As there's a fastball swung on, it is grounded on one hop over to the second baseman, Osato, and he is going to throw Mizuno. It's a ground out 4-3 for the second out of the inning. It's going to bring up the top of the order in Shun Mizutami. Yeah, so I think it'd be kind of cool just to be able to share that with people. I mean, I've got some information from last year, and one of the things that we really miss in North America is some of the cool nicknames that we used to have years ago in North America. But they have some of the nicknames over in Japan are kind of funny as well. I can't remember the player's name, but there was one guy in particular I took some video of. He was known as the Human Locomotive. As the first pitch fastball taken for a called strike, the count is 0-1 to Mizutani. Mizutani 1 for 1 tonight. He singled in his first trip to bat, as he waits here on the offering from the lefty Miyagi, who kicks and delivers. Fastball comes inside, almost hits Mizutani. That's going to run the count even at 1-1. 2 gone here in the third inning as Mizutani batting against the lefty Miyagi as he works himself to the set. And the pitch on the way, breaking ball misses down and away. The count is now 2-1. Zay, I'm going to try to get to the Fighters a couple of times when they play the Lions. I happened to see them last year go in and lay a beatdown on Kona Takahashi in late August, early September. It was a 7-0 game. But I'm going to try to be able to catch the Fighters at least once, if not twice, in Saitama. As that fastball swung on, it's grounded over to first. Nice play by Haruka, who fields it. He's going to take it himself. And that is going to do it, as it's going to be a ground out to 3 for the third out of the inning. And the Fighters go quietly here in their half of the third. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left aboard. This game here has got a little skip to it as we're moving to the bottom half of the third. Your score is 0-0. We'll be right back after this. Appreciate you guys for jumping in with us tonight on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel.
Hello, this is Eric Fox, formerly of the Oakland A's and Texas Rangers baseball teams. If you want to learn about Japanese baseball, see Coach Fred of Last Raps Baseball. If you want to baseball instruction? See Coach Fred. You want to learn about golf? Do not go to Coach Fred. Fred, what kind of club is this?
At Last Raps Baseball, we know baseball. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving ourselves to the last half of the third inning. 8, 9, and 1 hitters to come to bat for the Buffaloes. That'll be Nakagawa, Haruka, and the top of the order, Osato. Nice play there by Haruka to end the inning. He was a little bit off the foul line, had to move to the foul line to scoop it, make the play, and it was not an easy play. It was a hard hit ball by Mizutani. He was able to win the race to the base, and that is putting the touches on the third of that last half inning. So Nakagawa comes to the bat here. He's hitting .240, a couple homers and 15 RBIs. This has been one of my beefs with the manager, Nakajima of the Buffaloes, is how he uses his lineup. As there's a breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count is quickly 0-1. When you think of the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks, or you look at the Hanshin Tigers, you can pretty much bank on very similar order every night, as that breaking ball is taken for a ball, but the first base umpire goes up with the right hand. Now it is 0-2 here to Nakagawa. The manager, Nakajima, the man of a million faces, not really liking that call. Breaking ball misses down and away, and now first base umpire said Nakagawa didn't go. The count's 1-2. Why have a home plate umpire, as it just looks like that the first base umpire is making all the calls in this at bat. Here's the 1-2. Fastball swung on. This ball is going to be lifted into deep center field, moving back, but with plenty of room is Matsumoto, and he's there to make the catch. And that is going to retire Nakagawa for the first out of the innings. So 1 up and 1 away. And that is going to bring up the first baseman, Taishi Haruka. So Drew Verhagen looking sharp here in his 5th appearance of the year for the Hokkaido Ball Club. The only base runner was that single to Leandro Cedeno in the 2nd inning. He has cruised right along, retiring 7 of the first 8 batters he's faced. He pitches a breaking ball that is waved at and missed. The count is 0-1 to Haruka. Haruka hitting a buck 58. He's got no homers and 2 RBIs. As they ask Ethan, who's your favorite NPB team? He says he's got his favorite team is the team he's got the money on. So here comes the 0-2 offering. It is a breaking ball swung on and grounded foul past the third base bag. Count remains at 0-2. I'd missed a strike there as I was reading some of our chat. Some people come to gamble, some people come to listen, and some people just like baseball. And we appreciate everybody who does come in. And here's the 0-2 pitch. Fastball misses down and away, and the count goes to 1-2 on Haruka. It was a nice pitch. Troll, our friend Spaceman, says he loves Zay, but he's always against him. So here comes the 1-2 pitch as Verhagen rocks into the windup and delivers. Fastball misses down, and the count now goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. As we mentioned, if this game finishes early, we'll try to give bonus coverage of that game between the Hawks and the Marines. If that should be close and still going on, there's a breaking ball swung on, tap foul over on the third base side. And the count remains at 2-2 to Haruka. 1 gone here in the 3rd inning as the Buffaloes are batting in their half here. Not a whole lot of action going on, as it's been the story of the 2 starters so far. Verhagen has been very effective, as has his counterpart Hiroya Miyagi, both keeping the offenses off balance. As the pitch is on the way, it's a breaking ball swung on, is lifted into deep right center field, giving chase, and what a catch on the run by Chusei Manami as he slams into the wall Oh my goodness. He had to get on his horse and run, and he was able to make an over-the-shoulder catch. If you get on Instagram tonight and you're looking for Pacific League highlights or maybe even fighter highlights, that would have been one right there, as he was able to reach his arm out, and then he braces himself by slamming into the wall. It took him about 3 or 4 steps before he hit the cushions of the wall. What a fantastic play by Manami for the second out of the inning. That's going to bring up the top of the order and Kosei Osato. So some web gems being dealt around here tonight. First pitch fastball to Osato is taken for a called strike. The count is quickly 0-1. Osato lined out to the left fielder his first time up. 0-for-1 tonight for the left-handed hitting second baseman. He squares to bunt, and that is fouled off over on the third base side. Count now is 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Yeah, that was an unbelievable catch by Manami. Very athletic play made by the Fighters right fielder. So here comes the 0-2 pitch. As the right-hander Verhagen delivers, and it's a fastball that makes Osato skip rope and get out of the way, and that's going to run the count to 1-2. Ball goes all the way to the backstop. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. I wonder what the leash on Verhagen will be here tonight, as he's only really gone much more than 5 innings in any of his first 4 appearances. Probably stretching him out. There's a fastball that just comes underneath the chin of Osato. The count is now 2-2. That'll clear your sinuses and get you out of the way. So 2 balls and 2 strikes here to the left-handed hitting second baseman of the Buffaloes. There's a breaking ball that misses outside, and the count now runs full. So this is the guy that you don't want to let get back on base here. Osato, the leadoff hitter here for the Buffaloes, want to try to attack him here and make him be the hitter. So here comes the 3-2 pitch as Verhagen rocks and delivers. Breaking ball misses way upstairs. That's going to be ball 4. And Osato comes all the way back from being in the hole 0-2 to draw himself a 2-out walk. That's going to bring up the third baseman, Masahiro Nishino. And for Nishino, he is 0-for-1 tonight. He flew out to left field his only time up. No extra company tonight, as we were battling the vermin potentially, as we have a potential mouse issue might be dealing with here, but not tonight. We have done the necessary repairs. We believe that we will not get any extra company tonight, as that fastball is taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1 to Nishino. Nishino, on the season, entered tonight's game hitting .330 with no homers and 8 runs driven in. Waits here on the pitch from Verhagen, who delivers a fastball swung on. It's chopped slowly up the middle. Fielded by Mizuno. He's going to go to 1, and he is going to retire Nishino on a ground out 6-3, and that is going to do it here for the Buffaloes in their half of the inning. They got no runs in the inning. There were no hits, no errors. There was a runner left aboard. The first third of the ball game is in the books, and we're back to where we started, which is a 0-0 game. We'll be back in just a few with all the action. 4th inning in just a couple moments. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be right back in just a few. Welcome back, everybody. It is Raya Miyagi who is coming out for inning number 4. Only 37 pitches for the crafty lefty here in his first 3 innings work, and he's going to be facing the 2, 3, and 4 hitters for the Fighters, Matsumoto, Gunji, and Kiyomiya to come to bat here. Our friend Jeremy asked the question. He goes, do you do videos in the off season? And yeah, the answer to that is yes. We're going to try to punch out a few more this year. I was wanting last year to do a podcast, and that first pitch fastball misses way upstairs. Counts 1-0 to Matsumoto. Matsumoto grounded into a double play his first time up. It was the 4.63 variety. Fastball swung on. This is lifted foul down the right field line. It's going to slice into the seats. Count runs 1-1. But I think we're going to do that this year. I think we'll get that going, but it'll be something that we'll do probably in more like late September into early October, and hopefully we can do that with some regularity as not only as the season finishes, but definitely when we get into the hot stove with the movement around the NPB, as there's a fastball swung on it, is popped up down the right field line. Moving in on it is the right fielder Kita, and he makes the catch, and Matsumoto's in the books for the first out of the inning. So 1 gone here in inning number 4. Friend Ian says that Verhagen seems more confident tonight. He seems to easily get agitated. I remember when he was with the Tigers organization, obviously, because I follow Detroit more so than anybody else in Major League Baseball. As Yuya Gunji comes to the plate, he's 0 for 1 tonight. He grounded this short his first time up. As the pitch on the way, it's a fastball swung on. This is popped up in the infield. This ball is going to be playable. Coming in on it is Haruka as he calls Mori off. And that is going to retire Gunji for the second out of the inning. So 2 gone, and that is going to bring up the first baseman, Kotaro Kiyomiya. So pretty effective here tonight is Miyagi. You got to say that it's right now 4 pitches, and that is going to be it. Our friend Troll says we got to give him props on Carter Stewart Jr. about having a nice year this year. You know, I have to say that Carter Stewart, this had to be a breakout year for him. He's starting to get on here in the NPB, and he has enjoyed himself a nice season to this part. There's a fastball that misses inside, and then, they appeal down to the third base umpire, but they said Kiyomiya had offered. Count is quickly 0-1. If I remember correctly, before the season started, Carter Stewart signed an extension with the Hawks, as there is a breaking ball that misses down and away, and the count goes even to 1-1. So originally he signed a 6-year deal, and then he is extended, I believe, for another 2 or 3 more seasons. So he won't be coming back to North America anytime soon. Here's the 1-1 pitch. It's a fastball taken for a called strike. Count is now 1-2. But he is definitely earning his money in Japan right now. There's a fastball swung on, and this is line foul down the left field line. Spaceman said, should have bet on himself. Yeah, he is betting on himself. I think if he produces a couple of more years, he's going to get himself a heck of a deal when he comes back to North America. Because I think the big thing for him is to still cut down on the walk rate. There's a fastball that's grounded foul over on the first base side, and the count is 1-2. What he reminds me of in a lot of ways, he reminded me of a couple years ago, was Jacob Turner, who was a first-round pick of the Tigers, and they sent him to the Marlins in a trade years ago, as that fastball is taken for a ball, and the count now goes to 2-2 on Kiyomiya. When the Tigers had Turner, and even when he went to the Marlins, he was really, really raw. But then moving into this season, I compared him more towards like a Matt Manning. As there's a fastball swung on, his chop slowly back to the pitcher. Miyagi fields it. He throws to first. Kiyomiya's in the books. It's a ground out 1-3 for the third out of the inning. And that is going to do it here in the 4th for the Fighters. So hang tight, everybody, as the Fighters go in order. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left the board. We'll be back with the bottom of the 4th in just a few. Your score is the Fighters nothing, the Buffaloes nothing. We'll be right back after these.
Well, you've got to have an ace in the hole, a little secret that nobody knows. Life is a gamble, a game we all play, but you've got to save something for a rainy day. You've got to learn to play your cards right if you expect to win in life. Don't put it all on the line for just one roll. You've got to have an ace in the hole.
Welcome back to everybody. It is going to be the 3, 4, and 5 hitters to come to bat for the Buffaloes here in inning number 4. It's Ryoto Kita, Tomoya Mori, and Leandro Cedeno to face the right-hander Drew Verhagen here in the 4th inning of work. Our friend Amiri Thomas asked the question, who do you have winning? Well, if you would have asked me before the game tonight, I probably would have put my money on the Fighters because I felt they rolled out a stronger lineup. And Miyagi's been struggling this year, so of course that's how I would have saw it. And with the Buffaloes winning last night, it would have been a bit of a revenge game here for the Fighters to even the 3-game set. First pitch breaking ball delivered for a called strike. The count is quickly 0-1 to Kita. Kita 0 for 1 tonight. He struck out his only time up, and he takes a breaking ball for another called strike. The count now goes to 0-2. Our friend Dolai is in the house tonight. We welcome you. And Motormeister says these guys better start scoring some runs. You picked the under tonight. It looks like you are looking good so far in this one. There's a fastball swung on its tap foul over on the first base side. The count remains at 0-2. That was of the split finger variety from Verhagen. So no balls and 2 strikes. Verhagen rocks into the windup and delivers. There's a fastball that is waved at and missed. Kita's gone to the books. He's gone for the 2nd time tonight via the strikeout. That's the first out here in the 4th. That'll bring up the catcher, Tomoya Mori. That's the 5th strikeout recorded tonight by Drew Verhagen, as he has had some electric stuff here so far. So Mori stepping to the plate. He also struck out his first time up. He's 0 for 1 tonight. I was watching earlier tonight. One of our friends was in here earlier. I think it was Ethan who said he was watching the Angels game. But I think it was a Manny Margot. And I forget, the Twins were playing the Texas Rangers. There's a fastball swung. This ball is lifted into deep right field. This ball could be trouble, and it's gone. A home run for Tomoya Mori. And that is going to open the scoring here as Mori has set that one up into that 2nd-tier deck. And it is a 1-0 lead here for the Buffaloes. So Mori, who has really picked up the pace here in the back half of the 2024 season, is throwing the Buffaloes on his back, and they have opened the scoring. It is a 1-0 lead here for Orix in the bottom of the 4th inning. And it got out in a hurry. Make no mistake about that one. If he was guessing, he guessed right, and that ball was absolutely tattooed. And that might be all the Buffaloes need to work with, the way Miyagi's been pitching. He's been outstanding here tonight. That's going to bring Leandro Cedeno to the plate, who's 1 for 1 tonight. He's got a single and his only trip, and there's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into left center field, and it's going to get down for a base hit. So back-to-back hits here for the Buffaloes. Cedeno's aboard with a single, and that's going to bring up the left fielder, Ryoma Nishikawa. It was a hanging breaking ball that Cedeno just got off the end of the bat and was able to get it into shallow center field. Our friend No Lies says he wanted to take the under. Well, I guess we're going to see what happens. So Nishikawa comes to the plate. He is 0 for 1 in this one. Struck out his only time up. Batting .244 on the season with the 6 homers and 36 RBIs, and they throw over to first again, and Cedeno gets back. I don't know why Verhagen's wasting his time with Cedeno at first base. He's thrown over 3 times now with him at first. He's got no stolen bases on the year. I don't see him as a threat to steal a base. But yet he has the propensity to want to keep him close. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike. Nishikawa sort of stiffens him up. I don't think he liked the call. That pitch looked like it was up in the zone. So no balls and 1 strike. Verhagen gets the sign from his catcher, Tamiya, and he rocks himself into the motion. It's a fastball swung on. This is lifted into straightaway center field. Moving back with plenty of room is Matsumoto, and he makes the catch. And that is going to retire Nishikawa for the second out of the inning. So 2 gone with the runner on first. That's going to leave it all up to the shortstop, Kotaro Kobayashi. And for Kobayashi tonight, also 0 for 1. He struck out in his only plate appearance. So 0 for 1 for Kobayashi. His average has dipped to 259 on the year. As for Hagen, works himself to the set position. Now delivers breaking ball. Well, there goes the runner, Cedeno. They throw down to second base, and it is going to be in time, and they did get him at second. So I guess they were on to something. Maybe they got the signs of the Buffaloes. I don't know, but it's going to be caught stealing, and it's going to be 2-6 for the third out of the inning, and that will do it here for Orix in their half of the inning. Very interesting. No wonder they were throwing over to first base. Maybe they knew something we didn't. No, there was 1 run in the inning on the home run by Maury. There were 2 hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. Moving to the bottom of the 4th, your score is the Buffaloes 1, the Fighters no score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few. Appreciate you guys for being here with us. We'll be right back after this.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I'll take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Welcome back to everybody. We are moving ourselves to the top half of inning number 5. We've got a 1-0 lead here for the Buffaloes, courtesy of a solo shot off the bat of Tomoya Mori. Coming to bat will be for the Fighters will be Franmil Reyes, Daigo Kamikawa Kabata, and Chusei Manami. Only 2 hits for the Fighters so far, and Reyes has one of them, but he swings at a soft breaking ball, grounds it over to short. Kobayashi fields it, he fires the first, and that is going to retire Reyes on a ground out 6-3. 1 up and 1 away, and that'll bring up the second baseman, Daigo Kamikawa Kabata. Looked like it was a changeup right out of the gate. Soft away there from Miyagi. 48 pitches through the first 4 innings for the crafty lefty. He's on song here tonight against the Fighters. They could have used some of that earlier this year. That is for certain from the left-hander of the Buffaloes. Then the first pitch is a fastball that's poured in for a called strike. The count is 0-1. Zay says, you're making the innings too easy for Miyagi. 100%. And for me, keeping score, if I've done it correctly, that's the 4th time that the Fighters have swung at first pitches that have resulted in outs, as that is a fastball that misses outside. The count is 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Now check that. Let's make that 5. 5 times they've swung at first pitches that have resulted in outs. Fastball swung on and grounded foul on the first base side of home plate. The count now is 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Miyagi works himself to the set position. Here comes the pitch. Breaking ball that's down and away, but the home plate umpire goes up with the right hand and says that Kamikawa Kabata has gone around. That is going to retire him on strikes for the second out of the inning. And that's probably an easy call right there. Yeah, he did go. We get the overhead view of it as well. No doubt about it. He offered for sure. And that's going to bring up Chusei Minami to the plate. I was starting to say, it was Manny Margot of the Twins and Andrew Heaney were in a battle tonight that lasted about 5 minutes in length, or almost 5 minutes. It was a 16-pitch at bat. Get a chance. Heaney ended up winning it, but it's the kind of battles you see in the NPB. First pitch fastball misses inside, and the count is quickly 1-0. Spaceman says, Miyagi finally picking it up and going off in this game. Yeah, he is, definitely. He has been big time solid tonight. There is a breaking ball that drops in at 52 miles an hour for a called strike. And Zay says, what kind of pitch was that? Well, that's called taking something off your breaking ball. That's 1-1 here. And then come back with a heater at 94 miles an hour. So you get a breaking ball that floats up at 52 miles an hour, and they come back with a 92 mile an hour heater. That'll keep you off balance, or 95 mile an hour heater almost. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Minami. You watch. Let's see if he comes back again with something soft. Here comes the 1-2. Nope, he comes in with a fastball that just backs Minami off the plate, and the count now goes to 2-2. I know Elias says he threw an ephus. No, I don't think that was an ephus. It didn't have enough of an arc to it. It was a breaking ball that just took a lot off of the pitch. The ephus reminds me of when Zach Greinke would lob a ball up to the plate at about 40 clicks. Here's the 2-2. Fastball swung on and grounded foul. The count remains at 2-2 to Minami. 2 balls and 2 strikes. I wouldn't be surprised that he comes back with something soft away here. Don't know if Minami is quite savvy enough to make the adjustment in this situation to be able to handle this from Miyagi. Here's the 2-2 as the lefty kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that misses inside. That pitch looked good, but not good enough for the home plate umpire, as it's now run the count to 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Miyagi ready to go again as he leans in and gets the sign from his catcher Mori, and the payoff pitch on the way. Fastball swung on, chopped over the head of the pitcher, and it's going to have eyes and get into center field. But now he's got himself a 2-out knock as he is aboard here with a single. That's going to bring up the catcher, Yua Tamiya. Oh, it was a good at bat by Minami. He battled the lefty here. It was only the 3rd hit of the game so far for the Fighters tonight. As he's aboard, he's sharing a good laugh with the first baseman Haruka over there at first base. Probably talking about the 90-kilometer-an-hour looping curveball that he had to face. Minami establishes his lead over at first. He's got 1 foot on the turf and 1 on the dirt. As Tamiya digs himself in, ready to face the lefty here. 0 for 1 tonight is Tamiya. He's grounded to short his only time up. Miyagi delivers. There's a fastball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1. Minami can run, but he hasn't done much of it this year. He's only got 1 stolen base. Years past, he has shown more propensity to be able to try to take bases. As the 0-1 here ready to come. Lefty kicks and delivers a fastball taken for a called strike. The count now goes to 0-2 on Tamiya. Our friend Zay says it was a nice at-bat by Chusei, and it definitely was. That is for certain. I started to tell a story about Andy Altman-Orr, who was a reporter for I believe it was the San Jose or Sacramento paper. Came in and listened a few times last year as a fastball that misses down. He had sent me some photos of him and his wife. We were traveling ahead of time and got to a number of stadiums in Japan. We're going to be getting back there and getting to some stadiums I haven't been to yet. Obviously, the Jingo I've been to, but I haven't seen a game there. So getting a pair of games there a week from Tuesday and Wednesday. Then also looking to get the Lions and the Chiba Ball Club, as that fastball misses down and away, and the count now goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. I'd like to see the Marines. I believe they play the Hawks, and I definitely know they play the Lions. I think it's Lions first and Hawks second. So we're going to try to get to both of those games. So 2 balls and 2 strikes as the lefty kicks and delivers. Fastball swung on, grounded over to short. Kobayashi fields it. He's going to go across the diamond to first. Tamiya is gone on a ground out 6-3. And that will do it for the Fighters in their half of the inning. No runs, 1 hit. No errors, and there was 1 runner left aboard. We're moving to the bottom of the 5th, halfway through this one. It's the Buffaloes 1, the Fighters no score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few. Appreciate you guys for hanging with us tonight on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. We'll be right back after these. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the last half of the 5th inning. It's a 1-0 score for the Buffaloes, and coming to bat will be the bottom third of the batting order. Kitaro Kobayashi, Kaita Nakagawa, and Taishi Haruka. 7, 8, and 9 to come to bat here for the Buffaloes in inning number 5. Drew Verhagen making his 5th start of the year for the Fighters. Has only got the 1 blemish. That would be the home run given up to Tomoya Mori. He's scattered 3 hits in his 4 innings of work, and he's also struck out 5 Buffaloes so far, as the first pitch is on the way to Kobayashi. It's a fastball swung on and fouled away. Count is 0-1. Kobayashi 0 for 1 tonight, as he had struck out in his only plate appearance against the American right-hander. So no balls and 1 strike it is. And the pitch is a breaking ball that misses down and away, and the count goes to 1-1. A lot of games yesterday in the NPB. Half of the games, as a matter of fact, were washed out. There was a typhoon that had run through the Tokyo and the eastern part of Japan, as there was a split finger pitch swung on and missed. Count goes to 1-2, and I just kind of hope, I never really thought much about it, that we're not going to experience any typhoons while I am there. But make a bit of a wash for the vacation. You're going to have to spend some time underground. As the 1-2 pitch on the way, it is a split finger pitch that misses down and in. The count now goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Verhagen gets his sign from Tamiya, and he rocks into the windup and delivers. Fastball swung on, grounded into the 6th hole, fielded on the backhand by the shortstop, Mizuno. The throw is going to be high, as it's going to take the first baseman, Kiyomiya, off the bag. They're going to rule it as a base hit here for Kobayashi. I have to say, that would have been a really difficult play had Mizuno been able to make it. He had to go deep to the 6th hole. The third baseman, Gunji, unable to cut it off. Nice play there by the shortstop, but he threw the ball high. I wonder if he threw the ball, even if it was moderately down or something that where Kiyomiya could have a chance to pick it, might have had a chance to get Kobayashi over there at first base. But instead, he's aboard with a hit. So says the home scorer. That is going to bring up the center fielder, Kai Nakagawa. Nakagawa 0 for 1 tonight. He has flown to left field his only trip to the plate. As Verhagen holds to the set position, instead fires to first, and diving back is Kobayashi. Just a note, at the end of this half inning, we like to call it the Japanese halftime. That's where they take the extended break between innings 5 and 6. And as they do that, we will go and refresh our drink. And we will take a little extended break ourselves, put the music on loop, and then come back and give you all the updates from around the NPB. As squaring the bunt is Nakagawa, but he pulls back and takes a called strike. Count is quickly 0-1. It was kind of like a half-hearted attempt at a bunt. I don't know if he was actually serious in wanting to do it or not. So no balls and a 1 strike it is. But half the games last night, we were saying about the typhoon that swept through Japan. Half the games last night were washed out. They were, before they even started, 3 games were able to be completed. 2 other games going on around the NPB right now. 1 other here in the Pacific, 1 in the Central. We'll get you caught up on that on the halftime. 3 games will go off at 2 o'clock Pacific, 5 a.m. Eastern. So no balls and 2 strikes it is here to Nakagawa, as he fouled that other pitch away. And here comes the offering from Verhagen. Instead, he fires to first base and diving back in time as the base runner Kobayashi. I guess we're going to have to keep an eye there. I wonder, I don't have my stopwatch out with me. I should go and dig it out and see what Verhagen is to the plate, because I wonder if that's why they're running. If Leandro Cedeno is running, they get some runners aboard here. Is Verhagen just slow to the plate or what? Does he have a slide step? Here comes the pitch. It is a breaking ball swung on, another one fouled away, and the count remains at 0-2 to Nakagawa. A general rule of thumb is you want to be about 1.3 seconds to the plate from the time you lift your foot to the time the ball hits the catcher's mitt. When I watch Verhagen, he looks a little bit methodical in his leg lift. You can certainly make up for it with your speed in your arm, but if you're not quick to the plate with your leg lift, it's a bit of a problem. There's a fastball that misses down. A good stop there by Tamiya, and the count now goes to 1-2. Also be curious to know what kind of leash they're going to have him on for a pitch count here tonight. Will they take him stretch him into the 6th inning? I guess a lot depends on, can you get through the 5th? So 1 ball and 2 strikes. As the right-hander Verhagen leans in and gets the sign from Tamiya yet again. He works himself set to the belt. He checks the runner at first. Now he throws to first, and diving back again in time is Kobayashi. So 1 ball and 2 strikes that remains to Nakagawa as the battle continues here. Right-hander against the right-hander. Verhagen now works himself to the belt again. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball swung on, another one lifted foul. This one reached the seats this time over on the first base side. 1 ball and 2 strikes it remains to Nakagawa. Taisi Haruka is waiting his turn on deck. That'll be the top of the order here for the Buffaloes coming up. Again, a little surprised that they didn't bunt Nakagawa in this situation. It's not like he's been swinging a hot bat this year, batting in the 8th spot in the yo-yo lineup, often issued here by the manager Nakajima. There's a fastball swung on and is grounded hard foul past the third base coach's box. The count remains at 1-2. As I said at the outset, a little frustrating in watching manager Nakajima roll out his lineups. I often wonder if he just throws names into a hat and pulls them out and attaches it to a lineup card. But it's worked for them for the last 3 years, so I guess how can you complain? They've been to the Japan Series in 2021, 2, and 3. As they throw over to first base, and again diving back in time is Kobayashi. So 1 ball and 2 strikes it is. As the right-hander toes the rubber, leans in, gets the sign from his catcher. I would have to think there's probably going to be some movement here with Kobayashi. Try to stand of a double play at this point. Fastball misses down and away. But certainly not there on that pitch. The count now is 2-2 on Nakagawa. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Kobayashi establishes his lead. And the right-hander delivers. Breaking ball misses down and away. And the count now goes to 3-2 on Nakagawa. Well, he's worked the count full. It's going to be the 9th pitch of the at-bat here. Got to tip your hat to Nakagawa. He has made Verhagen work. The fighter brass looking on here, not looking the most impressed. There's only been 1 walk issued tonight by Verhagen. That was back in the 3rd inning when he walked the second baseman Osato. He's going to try to get through this 5th inning here as the 3-2 pitch is on the way to Nakagawa. And it's a breaking ball swung on. It is lined over the head of the third baseman. It's into the corner, and this could be trouble. It's going to be extra bases for Nakagawa. Digging it out, rounding third and heading home. Here comes the throw to the plate, and it's not going to be in time. It's going to be an RBI double by Nakagawa. It's going to score Kobayashi all the way from first. That ball was scorched into the left field corner. And a heck of an at-bat there by Nakagawa as he was able to take it to 9 pitches. But he is going to deliver the second run of the ball game here for the Buffaloes, and that's going to bring up the first baseman, Taishi Haruka. I don't know if the pitching coach is on the mound, but I think there would be an appropriate time to come out and talk to the right-hander. So the Buffaloes are providing a bit of a stampede on the base paths. And our fighter fans who are in the house tonight are in stunned silence. So Haruka comes to the plate. He's 0 for 1 tonight. He flew out to right field his only time up, and they're not out of the woods yet, but the runner at second and nobody out. The top of the order is looming on deck. So Haruka here. I wonder if they'll have him bunt here in this situation, get that runner over to third. Start chipping away 1 run at a time. As Verhagen leans in, gets the sign from this catcher, Tamiya. He works himself to the belt. And the pitch, they are squaring to bunt, and the ball's popped up foul. It's going to reach the seats on the first base side of home plate. Count is quickly 0-1 to Haruka. I mean, why not? Get him over to third, and then you got all kinds of ways to potentially score the runner. With Osato waiting on deck. Buffaloes have not had a lot to cheer about this year, their fans. There was a lot expected from them. In fact, before the season started, and if you go back and listen to some of our early streams, I would have predicted the Buffaloes to finish second behind the Hawks. Of course, I also had the Marines to finish third and to edge out the Eagles. But I certainly didn't see the Fighters quite yet in this position. I still figured the Fighters would be a 5th-place team, maybe 4th. As there's a ball that is bunted, it is popped foul right at home plate. Now the count goes to 0-2 on Haruka. But for most of these teams, there is approximately anywhere from 37 to 39 games, depending on the team in the Pacific League. Maybe even actually 36 games if you look at the Marines. They've got the least amount of games left to play. Buffaloes find themselves 22 games back of the Hawks. There's no way they're going to catch the Hawks. They're chasing the Marines, and they are 9 back of Chiba, with the Eagles stuck in the middle. There's a fastball swung on. It's grounded softly over to third. Fielded by Gunji is only placed to first. It's going to advance Nakagawa to third, so they didn't bunt. But the result of that swing is basically does the job itself. It's a ground out 5-3. One in the books here. That's going to bring up the top of the order in Osato. As Nakagawa is now the runner at third with one gone. I remember Sparky Anderson said when he managed the Cincinnati Reds years ago that he would like to go into the month of September. He would prefer to go in 10 games behind the leader in second place than he would to be 5 games behind the leader with a couple other teams in front of you. Just made it all the more difficult to have to catch the leader, and that was his thought process on it. I'd have to say that if you're a Buffalo fan, that would be how you feel here. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike. Counters quickly 0-1 to Osato. The infield is in here as they are going to try to cut the runner off at the plate. So I'll keep an eye here. I wonder if they'll try to squeeze him home at some point. Or if anything, a safety squeeze nonetheless. See if the Buffaloes have any tricks up their sleeve. Here's the pitch. Fastball swung on and lifted foul. The count now goes to 0-2. So likelihood of a squeeze at 0-2 has become very, very remote now. So no balls and 2 strikes to Osato. Runner at third, Nakagawa, 1 gone here in the 5th inning. As Tamiya gives the sign to his right-hander. Here we go. Pitch on the way. Fastball swung on and sliced foul into the seats over the third base side. The count remains at 0-2. It was a safety swing or a self-defense swing there by Osato just to stay alive. It was actually a good pitch by Verhagen. It looked like it was a split-finger pitch that was moving down and away. Too close to take for the left-handed hitting Osato. And I would be surprised if we saw Verhagen for the 6th. It looks like he's run out of a little bit of steam here. There's a split-finger pitch, swung on and missed. Osato's in the books. He's gone for the 2nd out of the inning. He's going to leave it all up to Masahiro Nishino. And that pitch there was absolutely waved on. Nice piece of pitching there by Verhagen. And by our count, if our mathematics are correct, that would be strikeout number 6 in the books for him tonight. So Nishino stepping to the plate. He is 0 for 2 tonight, flown to left and grounded to short in his 2 trips. Gets himself dug in here, ready to face the offering from the right-hander Verhagen. Average is dipped to 326 on the season. And the right-hander kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball swung on. This ball is going to get looped softly into center field. And Nishino is going to drive in the 3rd run here for the Buffaloes. An RBI single off the bat of Nishino. Brings home Nakagawa with the 2nd run of the inning. If those of you who are playing the over and under, maybe you're starting to bite your nails a little bit here. I don't know what the over-under is for the first 5. But it can't be overly impressive for our resident gamblers who like to come in and listen in for that in this one here. So that is going to bring up the right fielder Ryota Okita. Comes to bat here with 2 gone on a runner at first. 3-0 Buffalo lead. As Verhagen works himself to the belt. And the pitch on the way. Fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into left center field. Moving over is Mizutani, and he's going to make the catch. And that is going to retire Kita for the 3rd out of the inning. But the Buffaloes do some damage. They got a couple of runs in the inning on the benefit of 3 hits. So 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors, and 1 left aboard. We're now through 5 complete. Your score is the Buffaloes 3, the Fighters no score. We're taking our halftime break right here. We appreciate you guys for being here with us. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, everybody. We'll get you caught up on the out-of-town scoreboard as there's two other games underway across the NPB. It is a 2-2 ball game at the bottom of the fifth inning. That game is between the Hawks and the Marines. A battle between two American right-handers, as it is, two American pitchers, the left-hander Dallas Keuchel and the right-hander Carter Stewart Jr. The runs scored by the Hawks in the first, and then it was the Marines coming back with two on a two-run shot by Shogo Nakamura. He has not really shown up a lot in the last couple of seasons, but the power did tonight for the veteran of infielder of the Marines. Game between the Dragons and the Tigers in the top of the fourth inning at the Vantolin Dome, locked at 2s, as that is the only games that are currently underway. The later starts tonight, as there will be 3 other games going off a little bit later at the Jingu Stadium. It is the Carp and the Swallows. It'll be Daichi Osara taking on Keiji Takahashi. The game in Yokohama will be between the Giants and the Bay Stars. It'll be Inoue going for the Giants and Ishida taking to the hill for Yokohama. And the other game that'll go off at the Rakuten Mobile Park Miyagi in Tohoku, it is the Golden Eagles hosting the Lions. It'll be Tetsuya Mai taking to the hill for the Lions, and he'll be going head-to-head against Tatsuki Koja, who will go for the Golden Eagles in that one. But here the score tonight is a 3-0 ball game for the Buffaloes, and we have our friend Walfers in the house tonight. Appreciate you for dropping in. And thanks for joining us here as we were going to the top of the sixth inning. The halftime is almost over. And coming to bat for the Fighters, it'll be the 9, 1, and 2 hitters in the order. It'll be Mizuno, Mizutani, and Matsumoto, the 3 M's, all in a row here for the Fighters. 65 pitches through the first 5 innings for Miyagi has made it look easy, as he's been able to keep the Fighters off balance tonight. We were talking in the last half inning, 5 hitters he's been able to induce into first pitch swinging outs. And the first pitch is a fastball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1 to Mizuno. Mizuno, batting from the left side here tonight, grounded out to second his first and only time up against the lefty Miyagi. He takes another fastball for a called strike. The count is now 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes to the left-handed hitting shortstop of the Fighters. Miyagi getting the sign from Tamori. He works himself to the belt, and here comes the pitch. Breaking ball down and away. It was in the right-handed batter's box, and the count goes to 1-2 on Mizuno. As we mentioned earlier on, if this game does finish up early, we'll try to get over and give you guys some play-by-play on the Hawks and Marines. Marines, the only hit for the Marines in that one is the home run by Shogo Nakamura, as that breaking ball swung on and missed. It's going to be thrown down to first, and Mizuno's going to be retired on a strikeout 2-3 for the first out of the inning. It's going to bring up the top of the order in Shin Mizutani. On the other side of the coin, the Hawks have 2 runs on 3 hits. No errors in that one, as they are currently in the top of the 6th inning in that ball game. And the first pitch from Miyagi delivered to Mizutani is a fastball on the outside corner for a called strike. The count is 0-1. Mizutani 1 for 2 tonight. He's got a single and 2 trips. As the lefty ready to deliver again, pitch on the way, breaking ball misses down, and the count now goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Mizutani waggling his bat. The lefty Miyagi kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count now goes to 2-1. I'd do a double take in my mind anyways. It kind of looked like it was Chusei Manami batting here in this situation, but Mizutani not quite the same. He's not as thick yet. There's a fastball swung on, is grounded on 1 hop, taken by Kirbyashii. He throws to first. A nice play, as he had to go to his left up the middle to field the ball on the 1 hop, and Kirbyashii retires Mizutani on a ground out 6-3. So that's 2 in the books here, and that's going to bring up the center fielder, Go Matsumoto. Well, for Matsumoto, he's 0 for 2 tonight. He has grounded into a double play and flown to right in his 2 trips to the plate. As he comes to bat here to face the left-hander for the 3rd time this evening. He pitches a slow breaking ball that misses upstairs, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. The race for first is more than likely over in the Pacific as the breaking ball just misses down, and the count now goes to 2-0. But the real races are going to be for the 2nd and 3rd spots, but also the jockeying of where the teams will end. I say that because right now the Fighters and Marines, there's only a game that separates. Breaking ball swung on, and it's going to be line foul into the temporary seating down the left field line, and the count now goes to 2-1. What I like is that the Fighters right now would be hosting the playoff series against the Marines. Fighters have a game in hand on Chiba at the moment. Eagles are 5.5 back of the Marines, and they do have 3 games in hand as there's a fastball swung on. It's lifted foul into the seats down the right field line, and the count now is 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Buffaloes find themselves 9 games back of the Marines. So if they get a win here tonight and a Chiba loss, they'll inch a little bit closer, but I still think it might be unmanageable for the Buffaloes as that fastball swung on. It's popped up into foul territory. Racing over is the first baseman, Haruki. He's there to make the catch, and that's going to do it. As Matsumoto's gone for the 3rd out of the inning, and that'll do it for the Fighters here in their half of the 6th. They go quietly and in order. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We're moving to the bottom of the 6th inning. Your score is the Buffaloes 3 and the Fighters no score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few with all the action right after this. From our good friend, Steve Rademacher. After the game, be sure to go check him out.
This is Steve Rademacher, and I'd like to introduce you to my channel if you haven't seen it before. These are all the things I enjoy: sports, autographs, relics, non-sports Hall of Famers, pseudo-sports, Star Wars. That's my channel name and my name, and I would really appreciate it if you would come check me out and maybe even subscribe if you like it. Thank you for that for now, and back to your ball game.
Welcome back, everybody. We are moving ourselves now to the bottom half of the 6th inning. Our friend No Lie says, hoping for the sake of his total, the Buffaloes offense relaxes. We'll have to wait and see here if it is going to be Verhagen coming back in. We didn't get an update or not, or if they are going to be going to the bullpen. As it is Tomoya Mori on to face the right-hander who is staying on in the ballgame. And the first pitch is a breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1. It was a home run back in the 4th inning off the bat of Tomoya Mori that opened the scoring in this one. As there is a fastball blistered foul down the right field line, and the count now goes to 0-2. 81 pitches through the first 5 innings for the American right-hander. So I guess we have our answer to that question. They are stretching him out. So no balls and 2 strikes here to Tomoya Mori as the right-hander rocks into the windup and delivers. Fastball that misses outside. The count now goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Right-hander gets the sign, rocks again, and delivers. It's a fastball that just misses off the outside corner. The count now goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Maury holds his hands up rather high, as they are about at ear level, as there's a breaking ball swung on and lifted foul into the seats over on the third base side. Count remains at 2-2. I do get a bit of a kick out of Maury. He has some serious cuts. Absolutely turns on pitches. Has the 2-2 on the way. It's a fastball that misses inside. It's now 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. The Buffalo fans in certain parts are on their feet, cheering hard for their hometown hero. There's a breaking ball. It's taken for a called third strike. Oh, Maury doesn't like the call. But that breaking ball caught the outside corner. He's going to be retired for the first out of the inning. Nice pitch there by Verhagen. Locked up the hitter. That ball had quite a bit of depth to it, and a good catch there. A good frame by Tamiya, as he was able to sell that one to the home plate umpire. That is going to put Maury in the books for the first out of the inning. It'll bring up the designated hitter, Leandro Cedeno. Well, Cedeno's had his way with Verhagen here tonight, as he's got 2 hits in 2 trips. Although, mind you, both of them were singles. And the first pitch is a fastball swung on and fouled off into the shins of Cedeno. The count is quickly 0-1. He's going to take a moment to hop around and go for a little walk. The trainers are coming out to see him as they sprint all the way across. Cedeno's shooing him away. He's going to be all right. There's nothing like fouling a 90-mile-an-hour fastball off. Oh, he didn't even get it in the shin. He fouled it off the side of his knee. Yikes, that can hurt. He's got the shin guard on the left leg, but it's the inside of the left knee that he fouled it off of. That's a good thing he's the DH tonight, not having to hobble around the field. So here's the 0-1. Fastball misses down and away, and the count goes to 1-1 on Cedeno. Right-hander against the right-hander. Verhagen rocks and delivers. A fastball, another one swung on, and another one fouled off the foot of Cedeno. Oh, he's beating himself up here. We'll get a look at this one here. That one was off the shin guard. So that is a much better spot to hit, and certainly off the inside of your knee. So 1 ball and 2 strikes it is. As the right-hander ready to go again. And Verhagen rocks into the windup and delivers. It's a split finger pitch, swung on and missed. And that is going to do it here for Cedeno. He's gone for the second out of the inning. Another strikeout recorded by Verhagen. If by our count, that is 8 in the books. Interesting, no lies, says about Ryan Spilborg, says that he still has, on the broadcast of the Mariners-Pirates game, still has a dent in his foot from fouling a ball off it, as there is a first pitch breaking ball missing down and into Nishikawa. Nishikawa 0 for 2 tonight. He has struck out and flown to center. I talked about it before. If you've ever fouled the ball off of your leg, there's a fastball that misses upstairs. The count is now 2-0. And the way I equated it, I said I never knew what a bone contusion was until it's like a bone growing out of your bone on your leg. That's at least how it felt when I did it years ago. As the 2-0 is on the way, it's a fastball swung on. This ball is lined down the right field line, and it's just going to hook foul. And the count now goes to 2-1 on Nishikawa. And it's not a good feeling. Like, that's where you sit back and say you got to fix your swing. Stop fouling balls off into your shin. But, boy, that can really, really hurt. And I'd like to say you saw a steady diet of 95. That wouldn't be the case. Era that we were still swinging and playing upper 80s was the talk of the town. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count is now 2-2 to Nishikawa. certainly at the collegiate level, and you weren't seeing guys in the Midwest rocking 90 30 years ago. There's a split finger pitch swung on, it's grounded over to first, taken neatly by the first baseman Kiyomiya, and that is going to do it. Ground out to 3 for the third out of the inning. And that is going to retire the Buffaloes in order. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left aboard. We're coming back to give you the 7th inning. 2/3 of the game is in the books. It's 3-0 Buffaloes. We'll be right back in just a few. Appreciate you guys for being with us here tonight on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. Hang with us. We'll be right back in just a few. Welcome back, everybody. Hiroya Miyagi coming back out for his 7th inning of work. 78 pitches for the lefty through the first 6 innings, as he has only scattered 3 hits. And he is going to be facing Gunji, Kiyomiya, and Reyes here in the 7th inning. And the first pitch is a slow breaking ball that misses down and away, and the count is 1-0. Friend No Lies says, guys are hitting 103 now, as we were talking about in the last half inning, about how pitchers can really bring it up there. And there's a fastball that misses upstairs. Count is 2-0. And when I was a young guy, my father used to say to me, he goes, if you're not hitting 80 on the gun, they're not looking at you. And at that time, you're probably right, back in the 70s and the early 80s. Then it got to a point where if you're not hitting 90, they're not looking at you, as there's a breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count is now 2-1. And then it becomes where if you're not hitting 95, it almost looks like now they're not looking at you. Well, that's not totally true. Still, 90 seems to be the watermark, at least for most players. And that's not just your pitchers, it's your positional players too, as that fastball is lifted foul down the right field line. Count is 2-2. I remember saw the gun on Nick Castellanos from right field. I think he was like 85 miles an hour from right field, but that's an exception and not the rule, because a lot of guys can bring it a lot faster than that. Breaking ball misses down. The count is now 3 balls and 2 strikes to Gunji. Always interesting to see some of the stat cast on the arms of the positional players, because a lot of those guys are not pikers either. They can really bring it, especially when you think of like an O'Neill Cruz or an Ellie Dela Cruz. There's a breaking ball that misses down and in. It's going to be ball 4. Gunji's going to be aboard with a leadoff walk. You could tell that Miyagi didn't like the call of the home plate umpire, but he was kind of begging a little bit. But that is going to allow Gunji to be the leadoff walk here in the 7th. That's exactly what the fighters need. They need some base runners. It brings Kotaro Kiyomiya to the plate. Kiyomiya 0 for 2 tonight. He was popped to short and grounded to the pitcher. Batting from the left side against the lefty Miyagi. As the first pitch is on its way here from the crafty left-hander, and it's a breaking ball that just misses down, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Left-hander against the left-hander is Miyagi kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on his chop back to the pitcher. He goes to second for 1, back to first. It's not going to be in time. It's going to be a fielder's choice. It is going to go 1-6 on the putout. It's going to retire Gunji for the first out. Miyagi had to, it was a chopper that hit the dirt right in front of the plate. He had to leap up as he was moving backwards. A really athletic play. He got it over to Kobayashi, but the throw back to first was not going to double up Kiyomiya, as he's going to be safe on the fielder's choice. That's going to bring up the designated hitter in Franmil Reyes. Yeah, that was a pretty quality athletic play there by the pitcher Miyagi. So Reyes striding to the plate. He's 1 for 2 in this one. He's raised his season average to 255 with the 12 homers and 35 runs batted in, and he swings through a fastball and he fouls it straight back, and the count is 0-1. That might be the only fastball he might see in this at bat. The last couple of bats, it's been a steady diet of off speed. So no balls and 1 strike to the Franimal. This is one big man. As the lefty works himself again to the belt. And the pitch on the way, it's a fastball that misses upstairs. And the count runs even to 1-1 on the Franimal. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Lefty Miyagi works himself to the belt. And now he's ready to offer. The pitch on the way. It is a fastball swung on, grounded down the third base line. Oh, what a fantastic play by the third baseman. Nishino diving to the line. He gets up, he throws to first. It's offline. Fielded neatly by the first baseman, Haruka, who applies the tag to the runner. Reyes coming by. Oh my goodness, what a fantastic play that was. It's going to go down as a ground out 5-3. Reyes has gone for the second out. Kiyomiya is going to advance over to second. Well, I'll talk about some highlights in this game defensively. There's another one for you. That ball was able to be stopped by the third baseman. It was a 1 bouncer, but the throw taken on foul territory side of the first baseline by Haruka, and he applies the tag to get Reyes as he's running by. Oh, a bit of hard luck for the fighters there. If you're a fighter fan, you're probably just tossing your cookies up in your mouth. So that's going to put the runner at second with 2 gone. It brings Kamikawa Kabata to the plate, who is 0 for 2 in this one. He's bounced into a fielder's choice, although it looks like we may have a pinch hitter here. And the pitch is a breaking ball taken for a called strike. It looks like it's Nomura. And that's exactly who I believe we have here. So Yuki Nomura into pinch hit here for Kamikawa Kabata. And it's no balls and 1 strike to him. So the 0-1 on its way. It is a fastball that misses down, and the count runs even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Our friend Zay says, what a play. Absolutely unbelievable play. I have to say, there's been a couple of real solid web gems. That catch by Chusei Manami earlier in the ball game, and now this one here by the third baseman. Diving. And then, of course, the play by the first baseman wasn't chump change either, to have to field it and apply the tag. Fastball swung on and sliced into the seats down the right field line, and the count is now 1-2 to Nomura. Chusei Manami, who we just spoke about, he is on deck. So if you're Miyagi here, you want to retire this hitter because you don't want to face Manami. With a couple of ducks on the pond, it could turn this game around in a heartbeat. And they throw down to second base. And diving back in time is the base runner, Kiyomiya. It was a bit of a daylight play there by the second baseman, Osato, who had come in behind. So 1 ball and 2 strikes it is here to Yuki Nomura. Miyagi works himself to the belt. Here comes the pitch. It's a fastball that misses down and away, and the count now goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. As we said, a reminder, we'll be back on the airwaves again tomorrow. Same 2 teams tomorrow night, so hopefully you can join us again for that one. As we will continue this series. And then it'll be one more game next Friday, North American time, Saturday time, and then we will be off. As that is a fastball swung on. It is lifted down the right field line. It's going to drift over the netting into the seats, and the count remains at 2-2 to Nomura. So 2 balls and 2 strikes it is. Too much for manager Nakajima to look at. As we said, the man of a million faces. 94 pitches now for the lefty Miyagi as the 2-2 here ready to come again to Nomura. Checks the runner at second. Here's the pitch. Fastball comes inside, almost hits Nomura. Now that runs the count to 3-2. As I said, this is the guy you want to get right here. You don't want to face Minami with 2 ducks on the pond. If that is the case, then this game here could go all to the wayside just like that. Here comes the 3-2 pitch as the lefty Miyagi delivers. It's a breaking ball swung on. It is lifted into shallow center field, coming hard and making the catch is the center fielder Nakagawa, and that is going to retire Nomura for the 3rd out of the inning. And that will do it here for the Fighters in their half of inning number 7. No runs, no hits, no errors, 1 runner left aboard. We're moving to the bottom of the 7th inning. Your score is the Buffaloes 3, the Fighters no score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few with all the action. Appreciate you guys for hanging with us on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. We'll be right back in just a few. We've got a scoreline of 3-0 for the Buffaloes. We'll be back in just a few. Appreciate you guys for hanging in here with us tonight on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. We'll be right back after these. Welcome back, everybody. It is the bottom third of the batting order coming to bat for the Buffaloes. That means Kobayashi, Nakagawa, and Haruka. As we are expecting that Drew Verhagen's night should and probably is going to be over. We're just waiting on a confirmation here of the pitching change. As Verhagen had gone 6, he'll get a quality start for this as he allowed 3 earned runs in his 6 innings of work. I don't even know if they even promote the quality start stat anymore, if that's something that's even looked at. Used to be a big thing. It does look like they have a left-hander in the ballgame now, and that is going to be number 55, Kaito Matsura. I'm curious to see how Matsura is going to do. If I remember correctly, it was last weekend. It wasn't a very good weekend for him. So we're going to see how the lefty is. And we do have a new second baseman as Taiki Narama has entered the fray. And the first pitch is a fastball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1 to Kentaro Kobayashi. Kobayashi 1 for 2 in this one. He singled and scored a run his last time up. He also struck out against the starter Verhagen. As the lefty kicks and delivers, it's a fastball swung on, is grounded up the middle. Diving to try to stop it's Mizuno. He does, but he's unable to come up with it. That's going to be an infield single here for Kobayashi, as he is aboard with a single, and Matsura is back to where he was last weekend, and that is with runners on base. That's going to bring Kaita Nakagawa to the plate. Nakagawa is 1 for 2 in this one. He's got a double and 2 trips. He's also scored a run and driven in a run. So he's been involved in 2 of the 3 runs tonight, produced by the Buffaloes. Left-hander ready to go here. Here's the pitch from Matsura, but instead he throws to first. Getting back safely is Kobayashi. What I'd like to know is the thought process of Nakajima and how he rolls out his lineups each night, how he moves his players around. I just wonder how that would operate there. Squaring to bunt is Nakamura, and Nakagawa. He's going to pull back. The count is quickly 1-0. Pitch was up in the zone. Very late to show the bunt. No Lie says he needs Nakagawa to ground into a double play. Well, interesting here is Nakagawa, not necessarily known for his bunting. He does square again, and he bunts it, and it is caught in the air, and there's your double play. Just on cue, it's going to be a 1-3 double play. It was caught by the pitcher. The batter, or the runner, Kobayashi, was in motion to second base. The double play is going to go in the books as 1-3. Nakagawa gone on the catch. Kobayashi gone on the double up, so 2 gone here. And that is going to bring up the first baseman, Taishi Haruka. So our friend No Lies on cue. Right there, letting us know that's what he wanted. And now the pitcher, Matsura, steps off the back of the rubber, and he's going to cycle through the signs again. And here comes the pitch to Haruka. It's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count is 1-0. Our friend No Lies looking for the under. I don't even know what the over-under on this one was. Yes, on a pregame would have been 5.5. But again, that would have just been an educated guess. Fastball swung on and missed, and the count now goes to 1-1. The 2 starters on the hill, more than likely 5.5 would be or at least a reasonable over-under. As the lefty kicks and delivers, it's a fastball that misses down and in. And the count now is 2-1. Score is still the same in the bottom of the 7th inning between the Hawks and the Marines, 2-2 in that one. Bottom of the 5th inning, the Tigers have now taken a 3-2 lead over the Dragons. Fastball misses up and away. It's now 3-1 to Haruka. It is Kosei Osato waiting his turn on deck. The game at the Vantolin Dome between the Tigers and the Dragons is in the bottom of the 5th inning. Here's the pitch. Fastball swung on and tapped foul over on the third base side. Now the count goes to 3-2 on Haruka, as he goes for a little bit of a walk around the home plate area. Our friend No Lie says, I think it was 6. He hopped in after the first bomb and got 4. So here comes the 3-2 pitch as the lefty kicks and fires. Fastball misses inside. It's going to be ball 4, and Haruka is going to be aboard with a 2-out walk. That's going to bring up the top of the order in Kosei Osato. Well, Osato tonight is officially 0 for 2. He has struck out and lined out to left. He's also walked. So he's been aboard once out of his 3 trips to the plate. He is a lefty, swinging from the left side against the lefty here. Left-hander against the left-hander. As Matsura kicks and delivers, it's a fastball that misses inside, and the count is quickly 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Lefty again leans in and gets the sign from his catcher, Tamiya, as he works himself to the set. Here comes the 1-0, but instead he fires to first, and diving back head first is Haruka. You know, this wouldn't be a bad situation for Haruka to take off running. If he gets thrown out, you got the top of the order coming up in the next half inning. If he steals the bag, then you've got every opportunity for this top of the order to drive him in. So keep your eyes peeled here if they send Haruka running. And again, they throw over to first base, and again, getting back in time is the base runner. Still 1 ball and no strikes to Osato. I don't think I would put a hit and run on in this situation at this point, although it is a positive count. Here comes the 1-0. Pitch on the way. Fastball taken for a called strike. Count is even at 1-1 to Osato. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Again, establishing his lead at first base is Haruka. He's got 1 foot on the turf, 1 on the dirt. As the lefty ready to go again, he kicks and fires. Fastball taken for a called strike. That was at the belt. So now the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes to Osato. Lefty again leans in. This is Matsuura getting the sign from Tamiya. As he nods in agreement, he works himself to the set position. He checks the runner at first. Instead, he goes to first, and again diving back in time is the runner Haruka. So he must be thinking the same thing we are. He could be off to the races here. Our friend Eric Hurley says, can anyone find me the Hawks stream? Well, I can tell you this, Eric. We are going to be switching over to that one should this game finish up first. So we'll give you the play-by-play there if that one continues on. As that fastball is swung on, it is lifted down the left field line. Giving chase is the third baseman, Gunji, but it's going to drop in foul. And that is going to keep the count at 1-2 on Osato. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Hawks are locked up at 2s with the Marines. Our last look in on that one. Both of the teams got their runs early. 2 in the first by the Hawks. 2 in the second by the Marines. A home run by Shogo Nakamura had locked that game up at 2, and that was where it stood the last time we took a peek in. Do you see what was happening over there? Here comes the 1-2 pitch. It's a breaking ball swung on. It is chopped softly back to the pitcher. Fielded by the pitcher, Matsuura. He throws to first, and that is going to retire Osato. That's going to be a ground out 1-3 for the third out of the inning. No runs in the inning, 1 hit, no errors. And there was 1 runner left aboard. Looks like we're going to have a pitching change as Miyagi's night is all but over. We're moving now to the top of the 8th inning. Your score is the Buffaloes 3 and the Fighters no score. Hang with us, everybody. We'll be back in just a few. Appreciate you guys for listening in on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. It is the Fighters and the Buffaloes when we return after this. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving ourselves to the top of the 8th inning, as it has been all Buffaloes here in this one tonight. The solo shot by Mori in the 4th, and then it was a RBI double off the bat of Nakagawa, bringing home Kobayashi in the 5th, and an RBI single by Nishino that brought home Nakagawa that has given a 3-0 lead here to the Buffaloes. Well, we have a pitching change, as it is going to be the right-hander coming into the ball game. It is Luis Perdomo. He's making his 17th appearance of the year. He's got a 0.56 ERA. He has been absolutely brilliant out of the bullpen for the Buffaloes. And the first pitch breaking ball is swung on and missed by Manami, and the count is quickly 0-1. So Luis Perdomo on in relief of Hiroya Miyagi. And the pitch on the way is a breaking ball that just misses low. And the count now runs even to 1-1. So Perdomo has been absolutely brilliant. Here's the 1-1 pitch to Manami as he kicks and delivers. Fastball swung on, lifted foul down the right field line, and the count now goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. It's been not a lot of offense here tonight for the Fighters, as they have no runs, 3 hits, and no errors. Defense has been good. 3-7-0 for the Buffaloes. That's a slow breaking ball that just misses off the outside corner. Perdomo thought it was strike 3. The way he walked off the mound and was doing a bit of a circle, he's not necessarily pleased with the umpire on that one. I have to say, that looked like a pretty good pitch. So he's probably telling the home plate umpire, without telling the home plate umpire, you missed that one. So here comes the 2-2 offering as it is on its way. It's a breaking ball swung on. It is lifted into shallow left field. Moving in and toward the line underneath it is the left fielder Nishikawa, and that's going to retire Manami for the first out of the inning. So the Fighters are starting to run out of outs. They've only got 5 outs left in this one to have to do some damage, as they've not been able to unlock the key to success here against the Buffaloes last night or tonight. Last night against the Buffaloes, they only scored 1 run. And so far here in 16 1/3 innings of these 3 games set, they've only got 1 run scored. And the first pitch is a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1 to Yua Tamiya. So no balls and 1 strike. Perdomo delivers a fastball. That's taken at the knees for a called strike, and the count is now 0-2. So nothing in 2 here. I have to take a look. It doesn't look like it's Tamiya at the plate. It's actually a pinch hitter, as that ball is a fastball swung on and fouled away. I was going to say Tamiya bats from the left side. Trying to look through our rosters to see who it is. It looks like it's Yuki Umbayashi, who is enlisted as a catcher on our card, as it's 0-2 here to him. And the pitch is a fastball. Another one swung on and fouled away, and the battle continues. So we would think that Umbayashi should be coming in defensively for Tamiya. Interesting that they would take out the left-handed hitting catcher for the right-handed hitting Umbayashi here. As the pitch is on the way, it's a split finger pitch, swung on and missed. Umbayashi in the books, he's gone for the second out of the inning. That'll leave up to the shortstop, Tetsuki Mizuno. Well, for Mizuno, he is 0 for 2. He has grounded to second, and he has struck out his 2 trips to the plate. As Perdomo ready to go here, he leans in and he gets the sign from his catcher, Tomoya Mori. And the first pitch on the way is a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike. The count is 0-1. Mizuno tonight 0 for 2. He has struck out and grounded out in his 2 trips. As Perdomo delivers again, that one's a fastball that misses down and away, and the count's even now at 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Buffalo's enjoying a 3-0 lead here, as it's 2 gone here in the 8th. Pitch is a fastball swung on. It's lifted foul down the left field line. It's going to reach the seats over the netting. 1 ball and 2 strikes it is to Mizuno. Again, Perdomo rears in, looks at the sign, and now he's ready to go. He's a split finger pitch swung on and missed. And Maury's going to throw it on to first base. It's going to be a strikeout, 2-3. Perdomo comes in, does his job, as he is absolutely electric here in the 8th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left the board. We are now moving to the bottom of the 8th inning. Your score is the Buffaloes 3, the Fighters no score. Hang tight, everybody. It's the 2, 3, and 4 hitters to come to bat for Orix when we return after this, and we are anticipating a pitching change as the big boss is out of the dugout talking to the home plate umpire. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving ourselves to the bottom half of the 8th inning, and coming to bat for the Buffaloes will be Nishino, Kita, and Mori, the 2, 3, and 4 hitters in the Buffaloes lineup. And there is a pitching change, as it is going to be number 31 in the ball game, and that will be Patrick Murphy, the former Washington National, making his 38th appearance for the Fighters. He's got an ERA of 3.38. So he is coming on in relief here for the Fighters here in this one. Interesting that they're bringing him on in relief. Would have thought that maybe he would have been better served when the team is in the lead, but that is how they're using Murphy here in this one. So Murphy on to pitch the 8th. We do have the new catcher, as it is going to be Umbayashi, who is in for Tamiya. That is your defensive change, and it looks like it is going to be a pinch hitter here, as Yuma Mune is coming in to pinch for Masahiro Nishino. So Mune hitting .228 on the year with a homer and 21 RBIs. Steps in here for his first at-bat of the evening. And the first pitch is a breaking ball that misses way upstairs, and the count is 1-0. Mune wears the shin guard. Looked like a catcher's shin guard. I could have sworn that's exactly what he has. He's got something on his kneecap as well as his shin. And it looks like a full-on, it's actually 2 pieces. As that fastball swung on and fouled away, but it looks like it is a catcher's shin guard. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Mune. It is now a 4-3 lead for the Tigers over the Dragons. That game is in the top of the 6th inning. Top of the 8th inning at the PayPay Dome, it is 2-2 for the Hawks and the Marines. Fastball swung on, lifted down the third base line, and it is going to slice foul just out of the reach of Gunji, and the count now is 1-2 to Mune. And this one here, it is 3-0 Buffaloes. As I said, if we'll take a bounce over to see the Hawks and the Marines. Marines only have 1 hit in that one. The Hawks have 4. Curious to see how far that Keuchel hung in there as he was making his debut tonight for the Chiba Ball Club. It looks like he went 5 innings, 73 pitches. He allowed 3 hits, a couple of walks, struck out 3, and conceded the 2 runs, both of them earned. There was a fastball swung on and lifted foul down the left field line, and the count remains at 1-2 to Mune. They're into the bullpen as Yokoyama and Sawamura have replaced Keuchel. On the flip side, Carter Stewart Jr. went 6 innings on 102 pitches. Allowed the 2-run shot there by Shogo Nakamura. There's a fastball swung on. It's going to be looped softly into left field. And Yuma Mune is aboard with a leadoff single here in the bottom of the 8th inning. And the Buffaloes have something going here. That's going to bring up the schedule to bring up the right fielder, Ryoto Kita. They have, after Stewart left, they brought in Darwinson Hernandez, who pitched a clean 7th, and then it was Fuji, who is currently in the ball game at this point. Got himself in a little bit of a trouble. He is retired a couple of batters, but he's walked a couple. So I'll have to take a look in to see exactly where that is at in this point. So it looks like it's 2 outs and the bases loaded over there. I don't know any other information at this point. We'll have to take a look in a little bit later. Here comes the first offering here to Kita. He squares the bunt and he misses. They appeal over to the third base umpire, but they say he didn't go, and that's going to run the count at 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes to Kita. They're trying to play for a run here. The Buffaloes are certainly not one of the better bunting teams in the NPB. No Lies says Sawamura wasn't too bad for the Red Sox. Early in his career, I would agree with that, with his Red Sox career. But the knock on Sawamura in Major League Baseball, too many walks. As Kita squares the bunt, he gets it down. The third baseman, Gunji, fields it, and it's not going to be in time. Oh, boy. Kiyomiya, the first baseman, butchered that. He wasn't anywhere near the bag, and that is going to go as a hit. So now the Buffaloes have got something brewing as they got runners at first and second with nobody out, and it's going to bring Tomoya Mori to the plate. So there's your defense. Our friend Zay, who likes to listen in, and we were saying the good news is the defense was pretty good for the first bit. But Kiyomiya found himself wandering away from the bag. The second baseman, Namura, nowhere to be seen as he was backing up the play. That's going to put the Fighters in a bit of a jackpot here as the Buffaloes have got runners at first and second, nobody out. And that brings Maury to the plate, who's already homered in this one here tonight. Our friend No Lies has got some concerns on his hands here, and rightfully so. So Maury at the plate here, who is 1 for 3 with the home run. As the first pitch is a breaking ball swung on, and that's fouled away. He takes some serious hacks at the plate. And that was one of them. He looked like he wanted to double the lead on one swing of the bat. So no balls and 1 strike here to Tomoya Mori. Right-hander Murphy gets his sign from his catcher Umbiyashi, but now time has been called as Mori has stepped out. Mori waggling the bat as he's waiting here on the offering from Murphy. Murphy holds himself to the set. He checks the runner and delivers. Fastball misses outside, and the count runs even to 1-1. If the Buffaloes could win this game, and if the Marines were to drop their decision, then they'd move themselves to 8 back of the Marines, because that's who they're basically chasing. I mean, they still got to catch the Golden Eagles, but it's really the third place team that would be in their sights. Breaking ball misses inside. The count now goes to 2-1. And then the other piece to that is that you've got a situation where Are they going to be able to get themselves in striking distance of the Marines where they can actually catch them? I don't know if they're right now at 9 games behind is realistic. They've got to go on a bit of a win streak here. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away. Count is 2-2. And get themselves into the month of September. If they're only 5 games behind, then that becomes realistic. But I still think the team to beat or the team to catch might end up being the Fighters. I think the Marines have enough to get to the 2nd spot in the Pacific League. So here comes the 2-2 pitch. And instead, Mori has called time, and he's stepped out of the batter's box. He's going to make Murphy get off the backside. And think about it a little bit more. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Murphy here, ready to go again. And delivers. Fastball taken right down the middle for a called 3rd strike. I'm not sure what Mori was looking for, but I'd be looking for a fastball down the middle, and that is going to retire him for the first out of the inning. Couldn't have been any worse for the Buffaloes, and that's going to bring up Leandro Cedeno to the plate. Nice job there by Murphy, as he is retired Maury for out number 1, and that brings Cedeno to the plate. He was 2 for 3 tonight. He's got a couple of singles in his 3 trips. He's been able to raise his batting average up on the season. As the right-hander Murphy checks that runner over at second base. Here's the pitch. Fastball misses up and in, and the count is 1-0 to Cedeno. Oh, it says that they hit him. Oh, boy. Very interesting. I thought that pitch, it must not have hit him hard, but come out to take a look at him do the trainers. Let's get a look at the replay of that one. I'm not so sure that I have to do a double check on that. I guess if you're going to get hit by a pitch, that's kind of the way you want to get hit. That's going to bring the pitching coach out to the mound. It's going to be a full-on conference. Let's see that one again. Yeah, it ended up, looked like it got him between the elbow and the shoulder on the tricep. That's going to be the end of the night for Cedeno, as he's going to get a pinch runner. He'll go right probably to the trainer's room, get himself a little bit of ice on that. That's going to load the bases. Mune, the runner at 3rd, Kita, the runner at 2nd. And now they have a pinch runner in here for the aforementioned Leandro Cedeno. Looks like it is Ryoma Ikeda on the run for him. So Ikeda on to run for Cedeno. That's going to bring up Ryoma Nishikawa to the plate, who was 0 for 3 in this one. He has struck out, he's flown to center, and he's grounded to first. 243 on the season is the average, with the 6 homers and 36 runs batted in. And the first pitch is a breaking ball. The miss is down and in. The count is 1-0. Our friend No Lies says, let's get an inning-ending double play. Well, you need some help on your end here. The Buffalo's got a chance to blow this thing apart. You got room for 1 run. You just don't have room for more. Our friend No Lies. Here's the pitch. It's a breaking ball that swung on and lifted foul. And the count is 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. As we say, we're keeping an eye on that game over in Fukuoka, as it is a 5-2 lead now for the Marines in the top of the 8th inning, as they were able to get to the pitcher Fuji. As time has been called, looks like that top half of the inning is over, as Nakamura had flown out to center field. But a 3-run double off the batter, Gregory Polanco, over the center fielder's head, clearing the bases, was the big damage in the top of the 8th inning. Fastball swung on, grounded softly over to second. They go to second for 1, back to first. And there you go. There's your inning-ending double play. It is going to go in the books as a 4-6-3 variety, as Nishikawa is going to be out for the 3rd out of the inning. Ikeda erased on the double play at second for out number 2. And that will do it here for the Buffaloes in their half of the 8th inning. So the Fighters remain in striking distance. Some help defensively for Patrick Murphy. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 runners left aboard. We're now moving to the top of the 9th inning. Your score is the Fighters trailing the Buffaloes 3-0. We'll be back in just a few. Appreciate you guys for hanging with us here on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. We'll be right back in just a few. Welcome back, everybody. We have a pitching change as it's going to be Andres Machado coming on in relief. Looks like we have a couple of other substitutions defensively for the Buffaloes. It looks like it is going to be number 30, Haruka, who will move from first base to left field. Over at first base, we are going to see Tatsuya Yamashi, the third baseman, Yumamune, who came in to pinch for Masahiro Nishino, stays in the game and play at third. It's going to be the top of the order here, as the first pitch is a fastball taken for a ball by Shun Mizutani. Mizutani, Matsumoto, and Gunji to face the right-hander Machado here in the 9th inning. As the pitch from Machado is on the way, it is a fastball swung on and missed. Count is quickly a 1-1. Mizutani tonight, 1 for 3, singled in the first inning. And he had a couple of groundouts here tonight. I look at him sometimes, as I said, he reminds me of Shusei Manami. They do a double take sometimes. There's a fastball swung on and grounded foul over on the third base side. The count is 1-2. So the Buffaloes looking to close this one off here. Started to give you the stats on Machado. It's his 42nd appearance of the season. He's got 3 wins and 2 losses. He's got 17 saves, 41 2/3 innings of work. Walked 11, struck out 44, and he's got a 1.73 ERA. And there's a fastball swung on and missed, and Mizutani gone in the books for the first out of the inning. They are running out of outs, are the Fighters. Just as they are running out of sand in the hourglass here. And this one, Machado, just for interest's sake, he is 31 years old, spent time with the Nationals and the Royals. We've seen him pitch earlier this year. He looks pretty electric. I don't know if they've got him or if they've locked him up for another year or two, but I think he is probably pitching himself into a position where he can stick around for another couple more years in the NPB. Fastball taken for a called strike. Count is 0-1 to Matsumoto. Matsumoto is grounded into a double play. He's flown to right and popped the first his 3 trips to the plate. As the pitch is a fastball swung on, it's grounded softly back to the pitcher. Machado fields it. He throws it on the run. He's able to get Matsumoto on a ground out 1-3 for the second out of the inning. And now the Fighters are down to their final out. Friend Tudo stopping in, says, how's your week going so far? Keep up the great work. Well, we appreciate you for popping in tonight, Tudo. As always, sticking your head around to see how we're doing. We're doing great. We're going to give some extra bonus coverage at the end of this one here. We'll bounce over and look in at the Hawks and the Marines when this game is complete. as that game is still going on as well. It is in the bottom of the 8th inning. First pitch fastball misses outside to Gunji, and the count is 1-0. Gunji today is 0 for 2. He has drawn a walk. He has grounded to short and popped to first. As the right-hander kicks and delivers, it's a split finger pitch, swung on and missed. Count is now 1-1 to Gunji. The Fighters are running out of time. As the right-hander ready to go again, Machado gets his sign from the catcher, Tomoya Mori. And here's the pitch. Fastball swung on, grounded over to third. Mune fields it cleanly, throws it over to first. Not the best of throws, but that is going to do it. It's a ground out 5-3. And that is going to put it in the books here for the Fighters as they go in order 1, 2, 3. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left the board. Stick around, everybody. We'll try to get to the other ball game and give you guys a little bit of that call in just a few. It is the final score here, 3-0 for the Buffaloes. We're just going to get our feed set up. We'll come back and give you the rest of that game as best we can between the Hawks and the Marines. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be right back.
Good evening, sports fans. I hope you all have been enjoying the game. This is just another message from another Hollis build. I hope that your team is in the lead, but if not, remember, that's life. That's what all the people say. You're riding high in April, shot down in May. But you know I'm gonna change that tune. When I'm back on top in June. I said that's life. And as funny as it may seem, some people get their kicks stomping on my team, but I don't let it get me down. 'Cause this fine old world, it keeps spinning around. I hope you enjoy the rest of the game, and if it remains the same, remember, that's life. You want your fill? Go check another Hollis build on YouTube. Last Raps Baseball. Let's get back to the game. Let's go! You know that's life. You know it. One love and peace.
Welcome back, everybody. We're picking up some bonus coverage here as we got the Hawks and Marines. Hawks batting in the bottom half of the 8th inning. It's Kensuke Kondo hitting. It's currently 3 balls and 2 strikes with 2 gone. They do have a runner at first, which is Kenta Imamiya. As they have a left-hander on the hill here, which is Suzuki for the Chiba Ball Club. Here comes the 3-2 pitch to Kondo as he kicks and delivers. Fastball misses upstairs. It's going to be ball 4, and that is going to put runners at first and second. And it is going to bring to bat the catcher, Takuya Kai. So the tying run is coming to the plate, and there will be a conference on the mound here as the pitching coach is coming out to have a word with his starter, Suzuki. So as we say here, just hang tight with us as we have some bonus coverage here between the Hawks and the Chiba Ball Club. It is in the bottom half of the 8th inning here. Tying run coming to the plate for Kai, it being in Takuya Kai. The big blow in this one was the bases clearing double by Gregory Polanco that has given the Marines the 5-2 lead. Hawks scored 2 runs in the bottom half of the first inning off of Dallas Keuchel, who eventually settled down and went 5 innings. The Marines scored 2 on the top of the second on a 2-run homer by Shogo Nakamura. And it is 5-2, as we mentioned here, with the 3-run double by Polanco. And the top half of this inning has given the Marines a 5-2 lead. As we are back to the action, it's a fastball that misses down and in, and the count is 1-0 to Takuya Kai. Kai batting from the right side against the left-handed throwing Suzuki. It's a good thing I recognize some of these players for the Hawks. It looks like it's Taisi Makihara who is on deck. We'll get you all the confirmation to that. But 5-2, the Marines have the lead here. Bottom of the 8th inning. Hawks are running out of time here as well. Score some runs. I would like to think that at this point, the Hawks are in a bit of a cruise control as that fastball misses upstairs and the count now goes to 2-0. I last looked, their magic number to win, I believe, was 24. That would be a combination of their wins and fighter losses. Well, with the Fighters losing tonight, check, it was 26 going into tonight's game. So their magic number now is 25 with the loss by the Fighters tonight. A win by the Marines will put them back into a tie with the Fighters for second place. Fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is now 2-1 to Takuya Kai. Win by the Buffaloes brought them to within 9 games now of the Fighters. Depending upon the outcome of this one, it'll either stay at 9 or maybe move to 8 on the Marines. Eagles got to do some damage against the Lions. They play tonight as the 2-1 on the way. Fastball swung on, and it's going to be lifted foul into the seats behind home plate. Runs the count now to 2-2 on Takuya Kai. Looking ahead in the next half inning, looks like it's going to be Tamura Tomosuji and the top of the order Takabe coming to bat scheduled to come to bat for the Marines. So 8, 9, and 1 for them when they come to bat. So Takuya Kai waggling the bat here, waiting on the offering from the lefty who kicks and delivers. Suzuki's fastball misses way upstairs. Count now is 3-2. So Taisi Makihara waiting on deck. Yeah, you do have the open base, but the runners are going to be in motion here when the lefty Suzuki delivers it to the dish. So this game has implications for both the Marines who are chasing the Fighters as Suzuki steps off the backside of the rubber and chases the runner back to second. So 3 balls and 2 strikes here to Takuya Kai. Bonus coverage, Hawks and Marines here as our game between the Fighters and Buffaloes has ended a bit early. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball, take it for a called third strike. Oh, Kai can't believe it. Either that or he's mad at himself, but that is going to do it, as that is going to end it here. Well, it looks like we're losing people fast and furious. It is 5-2 as they go to the top of the 9th inning. We're going to call it a night. We appreciate you guys for hanging in and listening with us here tonight on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. We'll be back in to give you guys all the action tomorrow night when we call the game between the Fighters and the Buffaloes. It'll be 9 p.m. Pacific or midnight Eastern. Hopefully you guys can jump in with us when you can. Chris Gutierrez says thanks. We appreciate you, Chris, for hanging in here with us tonight. Again, your final score, 3-0 Buffaloes over the Fighters. We'll be back again later in 24 hours' time, or less than 24 hours with all the action. Thanks again, everybody. Have a great night, and we will see you again tomorrow.